dancing on my own. See if you can follow. Got me feeling alive. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time it's real, real, real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now, I do what I want. Are you ready now? 'Cause it won't be easy. Only get what you work for. Gotta go all out. Whenever you see me, don't be wasting my time. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want. Hear me now. Watch me go, lose control. Is this real? All I feel. Break the signs. Every time let's be real, be real, be real. I do what I want. Ooh, I do what I want.
Good morning. What's new, pussycat? Oh my goodness. Hello. How are you? Can y'all see and hear me? Crazy nurse, could you just send me the signal to the bat phone? Oh, y'all, Lisa's working on 2 different monitors. I don't know where the fuck to look. I don't know what I'm looking at. I hope that I don't actually look the way I am appearing on my monitor. If so, I may have to give Laura an apology because I look like I'm animated. Okay, good. Crazy nurse, can you confirm that I do look like a human being and not a cartoon character? Can you please confirm that for me? Just another thumbs up or thumbs down will be fine. Not that I'm going to be able to do a damn thing about it, but okay, good. As long as I don't look like a cartoon character, that's all I care about. Well, my goodness, y'all. The reason I'm asking those questions is because I decided, well, actually my husband started it, but I was like, sure, honey, that sounds like a great idea. These 2 fucking monitors and this new computer almost led to a divorce. Son of a bitch, and I've already dropped my glasses. Do I need those? Let me see. Oh, those match my outfit really good. I think I do need them. Hold on. Oh my God. And I'm going to try and not break anything getting in and out of the chair. And by break anything, I mean, my ass, my face. Okay. And now I'm going to try and get back in the chair. That'll be fun. Okay. So what am I talking about? Well, Mr. Crimes and Fashion, being the sweet guy that he is, he decided to get me a new computer. And it is, I was looking for a tape measure to tell you how tiny it is, but I don't have one. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, this is perfect. Hold on. I'm going to show you how small this thing is because it's just It's mind-blowing. Okay, this is approximate, but I'm close. Can y'all see where the line is on this piece of paper? Oh, here, I'll fold it. That'll make it better. Duh. Y'all, I'm slow on the uptake this morning. So basically, I'm like Betty is every fucking day of her life. You see this? This is how big the computer is. I am not kidding you. It is sitting off to my left. I mean, I've got all this room in front of me on my desk. And yes, as I mentioned, I now have 2 monitors. Of course, I'm probably not going to know how to use them properly. Well, hell, I was over in the other monitor thinking I was live. Thank God for what is probably the first time on here when I was, I'd only been going, thank God, just a couple minutes. And I looked up and I'm like, how come that little counter that tells me how long I've been going is not showing? It doesn't show me how many people are watching. And the ding, 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 the little alarm bell sounded. And thank God I was able to text Crazy Nurse and say, hey, do you see me? Do you hear me? Because I show that I'm live on one monitor, but clearly I was on the wrong monitor. I'll get the hang of this. This just got finished this morning. I'm not sure where to look because the camera is directly in the middle of these 2 monitors, which I'm guessing is going to kind of negate the purpose of having 2. But y'all, there's going to be some little tech kinks to work out. So just bear with me the next couple live streams. Hopefully it'll only be that many. Like I said, this almost led to a divorce between me and Mr. Crimes and Fashion. God bless that man. He has got the patience of Job, but let me tell you something. When he's done, he's done. And I definitely got him to the done point yesterday. He spent hours doing this. Y'all, does this look normal where I'm looking right now? Because where I'm looking right now is directly at the camera, which is in the middle of these 2 monitors. So like I said, I can't see jack shit that's going on in the chat. I can see a little better with the other monitor, but I have a feeling that where I'm looking, my God, I'm like Betty. I'm staring up at this, staring everywhere. Although I don't do that because I'm a lying bag of shit with no fucking conscience. No, I'm just I'm technologically challenged, we'll just say. So hopefully I'm not all over the place like Betty. What do you think of that thumb? Oh, wait, let me finish the almost divorce saga. So basically what happened is it gets set up. And, I'm like everybody else. I'm a creature of habit. I want things to be the way that they have been all this time. I knew how to use everything, yada, yada, yada. I was happy with the way everything, was set up, the way it looked. Well, this new computer has the latest, I think it's Windows. Are we up to 12? I had 10 on the machine I was using. But the one and only, Jesus God, the one and only thing I did with that computer is my YouTube stuff. That's it. That's all. So I didn't know how to use that operating system because I didn't need to. When I do email, etc., when I do my Canva thumbnails, I do all that shit on my iPad. I don't use any of this for that. So now that we have this great new operating system, yeah, I'm like, oh, fuck, where's the picture of the duck? And where's this? And where's that? And my husband's like, honey, just give me a minute. Let me figure this out. And then there were problems with the computer. It was just one thing after the other. So my husband spends all this time getting this done. And of course, I look at it and I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. I want the old one back. And he just walked out of the room and in disgust. And I knew, stay stay in your office and shut the fuck up, Lisa. Don't say nothing. Fortunately, my husband gets over shit really quick because within 15 minutes of that, he was in the shower getting ready to go in an appointment. And I was in the shower I was in the bathroom while he was in the shower asking him about something. Although it was getting to the point where I thought, oh my God, maybe you should get in the shower with. So anyway, God bless him. I go right to DEF CON. Like, well, I'll just need to, what do I need to do? Find an old copy of Windows 10, maybe? I don't know. Was it 11? Whatever it was not this. He's like, honey, just relax and I will deal with it later. And he did. He was up last night until I don't know when. I was long asleep by the time he came in. And I woke up this morning and he said, I was just 2 sips into my coffee. And he said, you want to come in your office and see if this computer's right? So basically what he did is he put not a complete, he didn't go back to the old operating system, but the camera I use, it has had a major software update since the version I had. And some of the things that not the presets, all the buttons where you adjust everything, totally different. And I did find them on the other one, but I just didn't like them. I hated everything about it. So God bless him. He downloaded the previous copy of the camera software. So now, and guess what? In the end, now this would have led to divorce. So I kept my mouth shut on this. Oh God, it always is. It always is. It's just this one or that one. It's the way it's because I don't know where to look. So thank you, but I can't do anything about it now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So at the end this morning, when I come in here and he shows me, there it is, honey. Is that how you wanted it, dear? And yes, it looked like my old software, at least in the camera. But I'm sitting back and I'm looking and I'm going, a lot of the problem out of the gate, the monitors. I'm on 2 completely different monitors. And then to make it even more complicated, the monitor on my left looks more similar to what I'm used to. The monitor on the right is like, it's very bright. So everything looks completely different in each monitor. And I'm hoping that somewhere down the middle is what I want. And all I care about is I don't look like a fucking cartoon. Okay. That's all I care about. All right. So it's Friday. And as such, woo! Betty, get your helmet and get your knee pads, bitch, because I'm getting ready to drag you all over these streets. The bullhorn lives to ride another day. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. She doesn't ride anything. So in honor of Friday, my new high-tech setup here, the idea was for me to, be able to see the comments on one screen and whatever I'm looking at on the other. Well, according to my monitor, it's 1:16 a.m. So apparently I'm quite late for Friday happy hour. When in reality, I think it's 12:41 Eastern Standard Time. So you know what? But fuck it. The time it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So today we're going to do a little day drinking. We're going to drag Betty and read her for filth. And today's beverage of choice Absolute vodka cran grape. Let's see. I think I've had this flavor. I'm not sure. I'm getting ready to tell you. So by all means, if you would like to indulge along with me, let's do this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Crazy nurse, if I get out of hand, send the signal to the bat phone and just tell me, shut it down, bitch. Shut it down. That's going to be the safe word. Shut it down. Because this, friends, tastes like knee-high grape soda. High octane. Let's see. What's the alcohol percentage in here? Not that it's going to matter because I really have a wooden leg. Most people, when they see me, they would think that one drink would do me in. Au contraire, mon frere. I promise you, I could sit up here and I could probably drink 6 of these. And I mean, I'd be buzzed as hell, but I'd be able to keep it on the down low. You probably wouldn't know. Although I am out of practice, it's been a long time since my, days of being a professional drinker. Now I'm just, I haven't had a drink since last week. I think I said I was going to day drink, but I barely drank any of it. Okay, so what do y'all think of that thumbnail? Oh, pardon me one moment. There is one thing I need to do in the studio. Give me just, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I tried to do this ahead of time, but I wasn't able to. I don't know why, but well, now that's interesting. 3 hours ago. Why is it telling me that 3 hours ago wow, something is totally whacked. This is very strange. My channel said that 3 hours ago I was live. No, I wasn't. It must have been that little snafu. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, kids. Well, Betty, I've got some thoughts for you. Find some medication. That's the first one. What do y'all think of the thumbnail? I'm gonna, y'all, I typically say hi to everyone ahead of time. Now I'm trying to figure out how to move no, I guess I don't need to do it now. So y'all, if I appear to be looking the wrong way, I'm sorry. It's because I don't know what I'm doing yet. And these monitors have not been adjusted. They're not at their final adjustment yet. So please bear with me. Y'all know I like to say hi to everybody, but we got a lot to go over, and you know what happens when I do that? It's going to keep us here another half hour at least. So hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so sorry. I would love to say hi to everybody. But I just want to get y'all, I don't want you to be here forever. I mean, I would like you to be here forever for as long as you want, but beat Sam. Hell no. Okay. Let's do, what do y'all think of the thumbnail? In light of Betty's recent behavior, well, Betty Broderick, I'm sorry. Not that I'm saying that Betty's going to kill someone, but JLR, I certainly hope that you are taking all of this as serious as I think you probably should, because I don't think there's many people who would argue with the fact that Betty appears to be. Oh, could you just fucking get to the ground already? And please, I hope you left the parachute in the plane, in the plane that's in the death spiral. Jesus, I mean, honestly, Betty Broderick quite naturally came to mind, and not the killing part. And by the way, Betty Broderick is still sitting in jail because each time she's come up for parole, well, Betty's right, much like the Betty we talk about. Except that one, she really is named Betty. Well, Elizabeth. But yeah, she's got all these reasons, and it's like, bitch, they want to hear you say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I've learned something in the last 30 years. When was that? Was it in the 90s? Early 90s, maybe? So you all know who Betty Broderick is. So I'm sorry. I just quite naturally drew the comparison, not for the actual, murder part of the Betty Broderick saga, but because, before she got there, there's, in a lot of ways they're similar. And then in a lot of ways, not so much. Number one, Betty Broderick was a very smart woman. No comparison there. Betty Broderick had a long marriage. Betty Broderick actually had a job because Betty Broderick put her husband Dan through law school, and I believe also medical school, while raising children. Betty has no husband. Thank God she has no kids. There was something else. Oh, they had quite a bit of money. Yeah. So here's where I drew the comparisons, where I said, well, my goodness, they're just alike. There was a lot of Betty Broderick was wildly jealous of, I don't know if it was all women, but it was definitely one woman. Linda Kolkina was her name. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it turns out Betty had right to be a little upset about Linda, because Linda was Dan's secretary, and they ended up, they had an affair, and Dan fell in love with Linda and vice versa. And when he tried to leave Betty, that's, my favorite Betty Broderick freak the fuck out was when she drove her Suburban through their front door. Yes, that was great. I loved that. Give Betty time. Give Betty time. And I believe if Betty Broderick had, if we'd had the internet back then, well, boy, we'd have some more comparisons to draw. So yeah, I mean, sorry, she just quite naturally came to mind. There was a press conference at Mar-a-Lago the other day that Donald Trump held. I didn't get a chance to see it because I was out. I must admit, while I was not on YouTube yesterday, I might have been out doing a little bit of shopping. Yeah. So I could, whatever I took out of the closet, I could replace it with at least a few things. I'm working on it. It's a process, okay? And I'm working on it. I don't know what else to tell you. Does anyone know, was Betty sitting front row? Because, as a member of the media and a rabid supporter of Donald Trump who follows him all over the country like, a fucking nut job would do. I mean, it's one thing if you've got the money to do that. Betty has no fucking money. Oh, God. Stupid bitch. So, by the way, if anybody happened to see Betty at Mar-a-Lago, would you just hit me up and let me know? Okay, I think that was about it. Oh, there is one thing I wanted to cover because this is not going to be contained in the clips that we're going to watch. Sonia. Sorry. Sonia. Fuck you, you bag of shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? I saw a clip of you. Not you. I didn't see your face. I was listening to it. I don't know if they showed Sonia's face or not. But you know, everyone that was watching it, it was undoubtedly it was Sonia. Who the fuck do you think you are? And what exactly is wrong with you, ma'am? You have the fucking balls. First of all, Sonia, you know, the one interaction I had with you when I came into Betty's chat and was totally respectful and really did nothing but talk back and forth with Sonia, because you know, I guess she was going to be my handler while I was there, and that's fine. She was perfectly nice and seemed pretty normal. But you know, Sonia, and for all the people that think Sonia is the one who gave Betty the money, oh please, are you fucking kidding me? Unless she really is a grifter just like Betty. Because I remember when Betty's new BFF, Eileen, when Eileen needed $500 to go to some fucking no-tell motel or whatever Eileen was doing, driving around in her U-Haul before it was repossessed. How does that work? Because, you know, it says U-Haul on the back of it, which indicates that it's probably not yours. So it's just very odd to me to say that a U-Haul was repossessed. I mean, how many people try and keep those things? Whatever, that's a story for another day. Sonia loaned Eileen $500 and had to make a desperate pleading community post. I don't know. Were you trying to appeal to her conscience? Were you trying to get other people to send you money? Has Betty taught you how to be a good grifter? Although my understanding is that your grifter days go back to Doug Live from Newport. Yeah. I remember hearing all that on Burnt Toast, but we're not going to talk about that because I don't know I would be coming from a place of ignorance, you know, kind of like Betty comes from every day. So you probably wouldn't mind because you're, you know, dear leader. What do you have to call her? Do you have to call her like Ms. Bullhorn? Are you allowed to call her by her first name? And would that be her real name or her fucking psychotic acting alter ego, Bullscorn Betty? Bullscorn Betty Broderick. Betty Bullhorn, I'm sorry. Bullhorn Broderick. Fuck, I can't even keep it straight. To think that you would take your ass to Sebastian Rogers' school and at the very least, you had your camera recording. What the fuck is wrong with you? And what was your purpose? Do you think the fucking people in the school don't know he's missing? Do you think the general public who doesn't have a child there is going to come strutting into the office and say, you know, do you by any chance have any pictures of missing kids in here? How fucking vile, how fucking desperate are you for friends, for whatever it is? First of all, I can't imagine asking. And I don't give a shit if you lived across the street from the school. You know what's funny? For some reason, I always thought Sonia lived like in Florida by Betty. I don't know why, but whatever. Oh, I can tell you why. Because when I heard what she was accused of doing, some really gross shit, when the whole Doug Live from Newport thing happened, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just assumed that the bitch lived in Florida. It's wrong either way. Whether that bag of shit that you sit and fucking rah-rah for with all your, you know, your Jesus talk and, oh, are you another sister Christian? Oh, give me a fucking break, please. And hey, maybe you are, but you know, when you want to talk about the Lord all the time, but then you do all this grimy, gross shit behind the scenes. So whether you're just a fucking patsy and you ain't too bright, and Betty told you, oh, I know a good place that we should go and post our flyers. And by the way, bitch, for the millionth time, nobody gives a fuck about your flyers. Nobody looks at them. And you're not exactly diligent about work of any kind. And getting in your car and driving your fat ass to go fucking scream like a lunatic in front of a house or a business or whatever, that's not a job. Much as you want to call it one, that's not a job, Betty. And I had a great idea as far as trying to get Betty served. Well, maybe if the Manatee County Board of County Commissioners would consent to having their meeting wherever Betty may be hiding like the fucking coward that she is. Well, voila, you could probably get her served, because God knows Betty has got to be in some kind of podium withdrawals by now. She needs to get her BOCC power game on. Fucking crazy ass bag of shit. But yeah, back to you, Sonia. So whether you are just the world's fucking dumbest patsy and you are doing Betty's bidding, like Betty gives you does Betty give you your marching orders every morning? Whatever the case may be, it's really fucking gross to think that like you don't got enough going on upstairs, apparently. See, I'm talking about Betty and I'm starting to sound like her. You don't have enough going on upstairs to let you know that not appropriate. I mean, I'll never understand it. And then to make matters worse, you are recording them and then you fucking lie. And I don't know if they asked her directly if she was a YouTuber or if she just acted like, I heard it, but I don't remember the particulars. Probably because I was so just fucking mortified that someone would do that. I mean, why did they even let your ass in the building? That's my question. Because clearly that school needs to up their security game, because not Sonia, not me, not the man in the moon should be able to just go strutting on into a school, any school, for purposes of, covertly recording them. I mean, do you not think the people in the school know he's missing? You're fucking gross. I mean, truly. I'm embarrassed for you. Ugh. But you know what? All I have to do is really think about it. And anybody who, willingly sits next to Bullhorn Betty every day, well, that says a lot about you. Okay, so that's it on that. I'm done telling Sonia about herself. And I heard it on Burnt Toast, so I know. Wait, is that where I heard it? I believe it was Burnt Toast, but okay. I think that was all of that. Now let's get to Betty. All right. I got to pull up my email. Where is that? I had this all pulled up, you guys, but clearly I was on the wrong monitor. All right, let's see here. Of course, I'll add so you don't have to. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to play this one first. It is, I think it's this one. Yes. Okay, hold on one second. Let me back this skank up to the beginning, said nobody ever. Okay. This is from the Alaska. How do I share? Hold on a minute. See, because this is a short and I'm not used to. Nope, not that. I'm not used to Why the hell is it not? I want to share his channel link. Can one of the mods please do that for me? It's at the Alaska. All right, shall we? Okay. God, I want to switch these windows, but I'm afraid to do it. All right. Bullhorn Betty. There we go. Nope, that's not the right one. I'm sorry. Stop screen. Okay. It's the last one I have pulled up. There it is. Okay. All right. I think I'll play it and then I'll let it, well, you know I'm going to be stopping it. I've got thoughts.
For me, under me, or around me. I have too much.
Bitch, there's exactly nobody that wants to get under you. I think a lot of people get over on you because you're not the you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Dirt on that man for that.
Betty, you know what? Speaking of dirt, I heard before I came in here, I was listening to Granny's Watching, and oh my goodness. Anyone who's interested in hearing the gory details of Betty's numerous arrests, well, Granny was reading them, and she, I guess she's a nicer person than I am because she was holding back on some of them. I mean, I've known where to get those for a long time. I read them for my own personal entertainment. And Granny was trying to make a point. Like, fuck you, Betty. You think you're better than, what does she call them? The felons and the junkie channels? Bitch. You are an absolute scumbag. You truly are. And how you've not ever landed yourself in prison or at least jail for any significant stretch of time. That's shocking to me, but give it time.
So we'll see how he chooses to play. But hey, you know what? I'm not opposed.
Because Betty is the law. And what Betty says, well, by God, you better do it. I got to tell you, of all the people I'd pick to fuck with, I don't think it would be him.
To going into the front of his house and doing a live there. I'm not opposed to having a bullhorn in front.
You know what I would do? I would turn on the sprinkler system at the highest pressure I could find. And if that didn't work, well, I guess I'd go out with a hose and I would find the need to start watering my grass on, like fire hose strength.
Front of his house. I'm not opposed to letting his neighbors know what kind of dog he is. Because remember, his neighbor.
Your neighbors certainly know what kind of dog you are, don't they? Or do they? Something tells me that they know.
Neighbors used to see me coming over there all the time, and now they see this fat, ugly lady coming over here with a smushed face.
Betty, I'm not sure who it is you're speaking of. The only way I'm even going to make this guess is because I know this is, well, I shouldn't say I know, but word on the street has been for quite a while that JLR and Magnolia are involved, and neither one of them has done anything to quash that rumor. So I'm going to just assume that they are. If you think for 1 minute that anybody that lives over there would be calling Magnolia a fat lady with a smushed face, Well, what did they call you? A busted up looking mashup of Eileen Warnos, Dusty Rhodes, and Joe Dirt. Are you like, this is what I have just coined this morning. Betty Vision. And Betty's the only one who has it. But Betty Vision, you know how you have the warning on your side mirrors of your car? And they say, you know, objects in mirror may be larger than they appear. Well, when you have, well, she's the only one who has it. Betty Vision, if there was a warning label that, God knows, if anybody needs a fucking black box warning label, it's this one. It would say, warning, object in front of you is, oh, fuck. Wait, did I write it down? I hope I did. Yes. Object in front of you appears smaller and nicer than it actually is. Yeah, because I guess when Betty looks in her fucking funhouse mirror, she sees someone that's smart. That even Betty couldn't think that she sees something looking back at her that's nice. No fucking way. But she definitely thinks she's smart. And I don't know, Betty, if your mirror is telling you that any of the disgusting shit that you wear. I mean, Betty, I've seen many homeless women that have got you beat 6 ways to Sunday. Better hair, better skin, better teeth, definitely better wardrobe, and probably nicer because unlike you, they're out, you know, having to beg for money in the heat in front of stores and intersections and whatnot. You just sit your fucking disheveled fat ass in, you know, your mommy's house, or where is it exactly that you're hiding these days, Betty? I don't know. But I promise you this. The what the neighbors are saying probably goes a little something like this. Oh, honey, did you see that? Did you listen? I never thought I'd say this, but fucking Team JLR all day. Sign me up. I will get my pom-poms out and I will dust them off. Between Bull Skank and JLR all day, baby. Not even like, I don't even have to think about it because unlike you, at least he has owned up to the things he's done and has actually seemingly come out of prison and sorry, Heels, I know, but listen, we had many a discussion like this when you were still here. Yeah, he's had some success in his life, at least online. What have you had? You are like the most fucking hated woman on here, just in this, you know, septic tank drain field community that we're running around in. Because Betty, if you think that people with big channels here on YouTube have any fucking idea who you are, they do not. And if by some chance they run across you like, hey, here's your weekly ass clown recommendations. Well, they sit back and first they say, what the fuck is wrong with that skank's hair? And ma'am, why don't you have a bra on? Oh God, why did you put this in my feed? That's how that goes. But the neighbors, well, I'm sure they say something along the lines of, oh, did you see the, you know, the nice little JLR, the one with that YouTube channel? Yeah, remember, oh my God, remember he used to have that hot bag of mess that would come over and, oh God, she looked like she was homeless and not a very nice person. Yeah, the one who'd come out and, you know, tell us, you know, you need to take your trash cans in. They've been out, you know, 7 minutes longer than I think is acceptable. And I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I run this street now, bitches. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen her fucking wretched ass around lately, but oh my goodness. Well, he certainly seems to have upped his girlfriend game. Yeah, because Betty, we all know you're insanely jealous of her, like you are all women that are smarter than you, almost everyone, more attractive than you, almost everyone, nicer than you, absolutely everyone, unless they're in prison. And I venture to say that even a lot of the ones in prison are a lot nicer than you. And, prison, I would imagine, would do something to give you an attitude problem. No, Betty's not in prison. She's just got here's Betty, body by prison commissary. Maybe you should try that, Bets. Maybe you should do I don't know, you could come up with your own commissary diet for anyone that wants to look like the Jet Puff Marshmallow Woman. Yeah, fuck off, Betty. God, you're so gross. But, I do believe I've heard the following about Magnolia. That she was actually a real journalist. That she was embedded with either, I've heard Project Veritas. I don't know if that is the case, but I do know this. I do know that she was an actual fucking journalist. I've seen there was an undercover recording. She was speaking with someone, I want to say from the DOJ. Betty, she runs rings around you like most women do, in every way, shape, form, and fashion. And if you think for one fucking hot second, well, Betty, here's an idea. Why don't you take a picture of you in all your glory and a picture of Magnolia in hers, and you're going to but don't ask Sonia, because we know what Sonia is going to say, or any of the other fucking weirdo sycophants that inhabit your chat. Go ask 10 people out on the street, which one of these women do you think is more attractive? I promise you, it's going to be a solid, maybe, I'm going to be generous here and say 9-1. But do carry on, Betty.
I'm sure they're probably scratching their heads saying, what's going on here? And I remember the last time I was over here, I remember the neighbors like, oh, we haven't seen you for a while. And it was just odd how his neighbor was talking to me.
Yeah, they probably wanted to say, God damn, we haven't seen you in a while. What the hell are you doing back? We thought we got lucky and you were gone.
I'm like, yeah, well, I've been on the road for the last several months. And she's like, oh.
Well, you definitely look road hard, so okay.
And I never caught wind of it. I never read.
So let me get this straight. You are a world-class investigator, an investigative journalist to be exact, and you couldn't figure out when your supposed man was stepping out on you. He wouldn't sit next to you in a restaurant. Well, I don't know. That might have been the first thought that something might be going on here.
Because I never believed that Jonathan was capable of doing that. I've never thought he was capable of lying about an interview.
You never thought he was capable of cheating on you or of lying about cheating on you. But he has done a stint in prison, I think 12 years. So how could you not were you just dickmatized, Betty? Did he just lay it down that good on you? Oh, Betty was dickmatized.
It's a father either.
Wow. Wasn't that fun, kids? Oh my God. Like, I can't. Let me, y'all, I want to see if I can. All right. We're going to stop. We're going to stop that one. I need to. Let me see. I'm going to pull YouTube up on my other screen. Okay. Let me look in my email and see which one is next. And this is the main one we're going to watch, I do believe. Let me go back in my email. We're getting rid of that. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes. Betty's titles. I just love Betty's titles. Like the following. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Betty, most of your pants do look like they have caught flame. Like which journalism class do they teach you how to make a creative title that will grab the reader's attention or the viewer's attention? Liar, liar, pants on fire. Dumb dumb. Honestly, I do not know what pisses me off more. I have a very low tolerance for stupid people. And I got a really zero tolerance for stupid and evil people. That's a bad combination. I don't know which is worse. Her being her, or the people who are so fucking stupid that they believe what this woman is saying, even when presented with irrefutable proof that she's lying. And Betty, are you honestly going to cheat a missing persons nonprofit charitable organization of $100,000 donation that I would imagine he would even make in your name? Well, how would your conscience allow you to sleep at night, knowing all you need to do, and that's SF Investigates I'm speaking of, Steve Fisher, because Betty has one of the many fantasies Betty has going on in her head is that SF Investigates wants to work with her. Why would that be? And better yet, why are you not? I know if somebody made that offer to me and I see, it's just a creative way of catching you in your lie. But she's made a career out of being a liar. That's one career Betty can lay claim to. Pathological liar. Well, my goodness, Betty, finally a fucking job. First we had a blow job, and now we have pathological liar. Well, I was going to say 2 careers, but I don't think Betty's had much career experience in the first endeavor. So we'll just say job. 2 legit jobs you can lay claim to. I mean, if someone offered to do that for me in my name, I'd be going through my damn receipts just as fast as my little fingers would take me. Get your right-hand lady Sonia to do it. Hello to anybody coming in. I'm sorry I didn't stop and say hi to everybody, and I'm not saying hi at the moment. I'm trying to keep this train on the track. All right, let's see what have we got next. I think I'll just go right to Betty's channel. I don't need the link. Oh no, that's nonsense. I'm pulling it. I see Betty's picture and Nonsense's avatar. Go in my history. Oh, there she is. See, I refuse to subscribe to that skank. So every time I want to look at something, I have to manually. Oh no, she's usually towards the top. There we go. That's the only thing Betty's usually towards the top in is the my YouTube history of shame. Yeah, Betty's usually right up at the top. Oh, here. Oh, Betty's sick. Oh, no, Betty, I don't want you to be sick. What do you have? The plague? We could only hope. You know, she's got that unfortunate itching problem everywhere. What you got going on, girl? Oh, I hope you're better real soon. I hope you don't get anything like, I don't know. Oh, goddamn. Oh, well, you damn sure look sick, girl. I'll give you that. Woo! Oh, for fuck's sake, Betty. Betty, I got a question. And don't worry. First, I have to sit through her awful ads. Oh, God. Oh, Betty seems to be riding a wave like Betty's on a high. Of course, not a chemical high. I don't mean anything like that. I mean, I think Betty thinks she's won again. Bitch, you have done nothing but prolong the inevitable, and it will catch up with you. Yes, it will. And until it does, well, we'll just all be sitting here clowning your ass. This is last night's live, I do believe. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, education, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use that might otherwise be considered infringing. You know, Betty could fall under any of those categories. Education, yeah, like, you know, kind of like they study serial killers. Oh, like when a wrestler, like what was that guy's name? Oh, it was so sad. He had that, what is it called? That condition that you get after being having a lot of concussions. Chris Benoit. Yeah, you know when like some very bizarre anomaly happens and someone does something crazy and they die, and you know, for research and education purposes, they go in and they study their brain. Betty's brain is probably smaller than the average brain. They could probably store her brain in like a Gerber baby food jar with, you know, little formaldehyde. That's probably what Betty's perfume smells like. Betty, do you wear perfume? What kind? I picture Betty wearing, you know, formaldehyde, something along those lines. Loves baby soft. No, that's too feminine. Maybe, plus it's, you know, 4 decades old. What about like Jean Naté? Yeah, that's Betty. Oh, Old Spice. There you go. Betty's an Old Spice man. All right. Let's, it's only an hour, which means it will take me, well, let's see. The other day I got through about 20 some odd minutes of Betty, and it took us 3.5 hours, but at least 30 minutes of that was me saying hello. So 3 hours. So I am going to speed her up. I don't know why I always forget to do this. Yeah, y'all, this 2 monitor thing, it's not going to work. I don't know how to make it do what it's supposed to do. And of course, my husband's not here. And if he was, he'd have to, like, he would come in with a paper bag over his head, like the Unknown comic. My husband, like, wants no part of this YouTube shit show, white trash circus. Yeah, no. So even if he was here, I don't think, and he doesn't know anything about StreamYard. Of course, I could show, he could figure this out in 2 seconds for me, but he's really going to be thrilled when I tell him, honey, I need you to take, because the 2 monitors, they're on like this arm, you know, kind of like a TV stand. They're on something like that. It's not working. Okay. Have I shared it? I don't think I have. All right, we're going to share it now. I'm going to speed her up as soon as I figure out is it in the settings? I think it is. Yes. Okay, we will put her on. Let's try 1.5. If it's too much, tell me and I'll slow her down. Wouldn't it be nice if it worked like that in real life? All right, here we go. Let's full screen this bitch. And I wonder if, let me try something here. I'm going to try moving. I'm going to move myself over here, and I want to make sure I can still see you guys. Somebody put a comment real quick, just so I can make sure. See, I had a feeling this was going to be. Oh, okay. All right. Crazy nurse. You can still see me? Just put a thumbs up in the chat. You don't need to text me. I see the one you did a second ago. Just give me one more if you can still see me. Okay, perfect. All right, the idea being that I'm going to be able to watch Betty, listen to Betty, scream at Betty, and follow the chat. Y'all manage your expectations, okay? That's all I can tell you. Manage expectations. But I'm going to try. And if she's too fast, Crazy Nurse, just text me and let me know. Okay. Take it away, bitch. Oh, God almighty, look at her. Holy shit. Let's just take this in for a minute. Betty, you know what I love? I love when you're God, because I know you're a godly woman. Sister Christian, you and Sonia. I just love it when the big guy, when he makes the absolute black ugliness on the inside, it reflects on the outside. God, I love it when the inner ugly and the outer ugly are in sync. I love that. All right.
So I've been hearing all the lies and
All the lies
misinformation going around. I'm covering the case of Sebastian Rogers. He's a 15-year-old boy.
Oh, fuck. It's too fast. Let me try and take it to, we'll take it to 1.25.
Disappeared from inside his locked home with only his mother, allegedly, and has not been seen or heard from since. He just was beamed up to Scotty, right?
Okay, Bets. Beamed up to Scotty. Star Trek reference. I'm sure many people know, but some will not.
Went to bed, according to his mother, woke up, and he was just evaporated into thin air. And so...
no, I don't think that's what she's claimed.
So with my quest for the truth and my commentary on this, apparently somewhere along the lines, they can't seem to stay off my channel. And apparently my commentary...
Wise Angel, she definitely has not gone for a bra fitting. I mean... yeah. Unless they sell bras at the Pilot gas station or maybe Pep Boys, because, you know, Advanced Auto Parts, Pep Boys, those are places Betty finds herself a lot because, you know, hell, Black Beauty probably needs a bra too, but, you know, neither one of them will end up with one.
Is too threatening for them. They can sit there and tell me that they're going to run me over with a car, their right hand.
Prove it, bitch. Prove it. If you've got the proof, show it. My guess is you are full of shit.
And on social media can say they're going to punch me in the throat. And
Betty, I would love to see somebody fucking punch you right in the throat. I would never do it because, you know, believe it or not, Betty, unlike you, I have never been in a fight in my life. Never. Because women, ladies don't fight. And that hand of God, that is the honest truth. I have never once in my life been in a fight. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know how to do it. I don't hit my husband. He doesn't hit me. Unlike you, Betty's had a lot of practice laying hands. So, you know, this might be one area where I am willing to take advice from Betty. I'm willing to listen to her because I think she has a vast knowledge base in the area of laying hands, whether it be strangulation, slapping, punching. My God, I heard on Granny's Watching when she was reading through the police reports, that bitch knocked her fucking ex-husband's teeth loose. So it could only be one of two situations. He either already had loose, missing, bad teeth, or Betty wallops one hell of a right hook. I don't know. I could believe either one.
We can have Terry Bowersox follow me around for literally 30 minutes.
Well, I know that what I saw was you getting out of your car after driving hundreds of miles. Bitch, I go to Tennessee every Christmas. Sometimes I go twice a year. I know exactly how long it takes to drive there. And if you drive between 85 and 95 miles an hour without a whole lot of stops, you can do it in 10 hours. You and your pile of shit car that probably doesn't work, you probably got to make a lot more stops. So at the very least 10 hours, I could see up to 11 or 12. So I only saw one person drive 10 to 12 hours to then get out of her car at an intersection to ask an elderly man, why are you following me? Oh, and by the way, while wearing a picture of his missing grandchild on your chest, your fucking sun damaged, sagging ass boob chest. Yeah.
And then start harassing me in a public parking lot. So those things are going to all come out.
I don't know if that happened. If you've got the fucking proof, show it. And guess what? I don't even care. You are a fucking menace. You have tormented these people. You have said the most disgusting things to them, about them. You've been rude as hell, insensitive, and an all-around asshole when discussing their son. And all of these nut jobs who sit in her chat. Ask yourself, do you have children? Do you have grandchildren? How would you feel if some disgusting, stupid bitch from the internet with a bizarre like need for some kind of power that does not exist in her real life, that she wants to exert over people on their worst day? Ask yourself, do you think that this bag of mess, do you think she cares more about that child than the extended family? And bitch, I don't give a fuck if you think his parents did this, that, and a third. And maybe they did. I don't know. I'm smarter than you. I don't go around accusing people of murder when I have no idea what went on. You can feel any way you want to feel. But do you honestly think that the entire extended family, do you think none of them care about Sebastian? You know why she talks the way she does and says the vile shit she does? Because she's fucking empty and broken inside. She cares about no one. She doesn't even care about herself. Take a look at her. And I don't have to be a shrink to make that assessment.
So people are saying, oh my God, she avoided her.
Still itching.
First of all, I was out of state when I found out about this. I was sitting in Mississippi and I had a...
I don't know. A lot of people think you're sitting in Tennessee, maybe in your good buddy Seth's house. I don't know.
Hurricane hit Florida. Hardly what you...
Bitch, I know exactly where you live. I mean, I don't know her. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I know exactly where her city is. And I know the general vicinity of where her house is located because I also live in Florida. I'm only a couple hours away from her. She does not have any fucking damage at her house. She's not out of power, etc. Well, no, much like the power she has none of in her own life, she wants you to believe she also doesn't have any in her house. Where's your dog, by the way? That's interesting. I knew that wouldn't take long for you to completely dump that dog on someone else. And sounds like it's probably your mother. And I don't, I don't speak on her mother, but I know I have my own. Oh, trust me. Something tells me the apple and the tree, you know what they say? One doesn't fall far from the other. I'm not going to speak on Betty's mom because I'm not a scumbag like Betty is. But, I guess it's probably better being with her mom than being with her.
Call. But at the end of the day, I wasn't going to be pulled into Sumner County. Everybody knows I've got a court hearing on the 13th and the 16th with a...
Bitch, you've got court hearings from now until the end of time, it seems. Yeah. Oh, and that's entirely normal too. I mean, Betty, you probably don't have enough life left to live to find a resolution to all your many court cases. I mean, how old are you? You look like you're in your 60s. You're in your 40s. If Betty lived to be 80 something, 40 years, that might be enough time to settle what she's already got going on now. But she's not going to stop there. She's going to keep, a rolling stone gathers no moss, Betty.
Complete lunatic out of Galesburg, Illinois, right? A fat ass out of Galesburg, Illinois.
Who the fuck are you to be calling anybody a fat ass? Excuse me? Wow. I think I've made my professional assessment along with my personal assessment on the way you look. You are a fucking cross between Eileen Warnos, Joe Dirt, and Dusty Rhodes. And you think you have standing to speak on someone else's appearance. Wow, that'd be like me looking like you and sitting up here telling you the things I tell you.
If you
Okay.
guys have a problem with me calling somebody a fat ass on here when I'm angry, then you can always
Well, what the fuck are you angry at her about? She doesn't have anything to do with your latest 3 sets of problems. You are the cause of all your problems. You are mentally about 12 years old. You take no personal responsibility for anything. Everything is someone else's fault. You are the problem. Much like I tell you, you're an LCD person, a lowest common denominator. You are also the most common denominator. The greatest common denominator is you in all your problems, Betty. Nobody's victimizing you. You victimize yourself with your insane behavior more than anybody else could do to you. You're your own worst enemy.
Either way, it has nothing to do with this intentional. I wasn't even in the state when I was.
Oh my God, did you see those fucking crazy eyes? Wow. And bitch, if you want to get your paperwork that you've acknowledged a billion times you know about, just get it done. Don't you want to be vindicated, Betty? Well, the first step to the road to vindication starts with accepting service of process.
Serve. We found out because everybody in their mind lost their mind thinking I was served when I was standing in Mississippi. And I had no clue that this was coming. So either way, however you look at it, that was.
Then you are fucking dumber than I thought you were. You should have known. And I'm thinking you might have met the right ones.
It's not the case. That is absolutely a fraudulent lie. How this thing works, and like I said, is it sounds like they were supposed to do just cause. I don't even think they showed up.
Wrong again.
To the hearing. It was extended because
because you are doing every fucking thing you can to avoid service of process. You will stay away from your own home, your own bed. Not that it's anything great, but it's yours. Most people want to be in their own bed. I mean, I can tell you my vacation, if I'm staying within the United States and I'm not traveling overseas, my vacation threshold, I am real fucking antsy after 5 days. For me, the sweet spot is about 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 nights. 7 that's my max, unless I'm going to the West Coast or something. Oh yeah, Betty can't go help with cases in the West Coast. Not California, not Alaska, not Hawaii. Well, she could go to California, but she'd have to fly. Yeah, she'll never get to Alaska or Hawaii. You guys are safe because she can't drive Black Beauty there. She could drive Black Beauty to California theoretically, but I don't think Black Beauty would make it.
Have to be properly served. And not only do I have to be served, I have to be served in Tennessee to be forced to go to Tennessee.
That sounds like complete and utter bullshit to me. But as I've stated many times, I don't know because I don't fucking care enough to look it up. I don't sit in this chair. I'm not Betty. I don't need to sit here and pretend that I know everything in the world. I also have a legal education, except mine came from a real state school. I didn't get a degree from a finance company that was unaccredited because that's what that college was, in my opinion. It was a finance company that gets fucking dumbass people like this who really don't have much sense and clearly are not math-minded. And they tell you they'll be happy to finance your education and don't worry about your grades. We don't give a fuck about those either. We just want you to finance with us at, I would imagine, the rate of usury. And yeah, then at the end of it all, you will have paid tuition that is probably at that time would have been equivalent to what fucking Harvard was, except you're going to get a degree that your credits are not going to be accepted anywhere because you're coming from an unaccredited institution. I went to a state school, so I've forgotten more than she's ever known. And I don't need to sit up here and pretend that I'm fucking Alan Dershowitz like Betty does. No. Because believe it or not, I'm not a fan of looking like a dumbass. Clearly, Betty doesn't mind at all because you know, that's the prevailing thought when she opens her mouth.
I am in the process of retaining a lawyer for this. It's going to be
Why? Girl, why are you retaining a lawyer? I mean, you're the world's best fucking jailhouse lawyer. You ran investigations for law firms. Oh, well, one of her police reports, she told the officer, I think it was a DUI, that he was going to be fucked because she worked with the FBI. Okay. That's just another day at work for them. They're used to dealing with delusional fucking assholes like Betty. Oh, by the way, Baki Betty. That's a new adjective to describe Betty. Baki Betty. But it's spelled Balky. And it basically means an uncooperative asshole. Baki Betty.
some money. If you guys would like to contribute to that, you're more than welcome. Either way, we are.
Wow. Oh, Betty, you should have come to this conclusion, about a year ago, a little over a year ago. You're so fucking out of your depth. But Betty, if you didn't do anything wrong and you're such a legal scholar, why are you asking your poor subs for money for a lawyer? And you better keep this in mind. If you think for one hot minute that your subs are going to contribute to your legal fund in any way that remotely resembles the way Queen Bee's subs have helped fund her defense against your busted up looking ass, you are sadly mistaken. You should probably take that money and, do what you always do. Ask for money for one thing and then spend it on something else. I would take whatever they give you. And first you should probably pay your property taxes. And then, I don't know, maybe you should engage the services of a real fucking hairdresser. You can't afford me, but if I triple no, never mind. But I can give you a name. Yeah, you got a lot of other things you should spend money on than a lawyer.
Are moving forward with this, and
your people can't afford
like I
it.
said, I'm not going to play with these idiots.
Not in the
I'm not
amount
gonna
you
play
would
with
need.
Bowersox. I'm not going to play with Katie Proudfoot. What they did was absolutely wrong. They lied under oath, and they continue to do so.
How about what you did? Does that come? See, this is how you know that she's not right. Okay, this is how you know that not only is she just a flagrant bag of shit. Most people that are adults and right thinking, there is very few situations in this world where there's two adults that have a very acrimonious situation or an encounter, whatever the case may be. Very rarely is it ever all one person's fault. You will never hear me loud and clear. If the voice of reason gets to any of you fucking morons that believe this shitbag in anything she tells you, but most especially when she's trying to reach into your wallet. Hear me loud and clear. She gives zero fucks about anyone but herself and the grift. And ask yourself, when is the last time that you have had involvement in any kind of situation with another adult and you couldn't at least find some small part of personal responsibility? Never. You will never hear it. And if you don't believe me, just go back and look at all of the all of her, she's fallen out with every single person on here that she was friends with. That should tell you a lot.
I truly believe that they are the reason why Seth doesn't trust Sumner County is because Sumner County, there is somebody in Sumner County assisting Christopher and Katie Proudfoot.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Just the other day, I said she is already starting to set up that if things don't go her way, it's law enforcement. They're corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. That is what a 12-year-old would do. She will take no personal responsibility for anything you will. She never has, and she never will. And this is how you know that not only is she a horrible person, everything isn't firing the way it's supposed to, because just by statistical possibilities alone. Not that I think there's any statisticians sitting in her chat, but you never know. Maybe they can help all the rest of them out. Just by statistical probability alone, what are the chances that every single altercation, every single lawsuit, every single fucking restraining order, and on it goes? Do you honestly think that she's just pure as the driven snow and she's never done anything? She is a perpetual victim, when in reality, she's the victimizer. She has victimized her ex-husband multiple times, her mother, etc.
Which to me is a major problematic issue, especially considering that I feel like it is a conflict of interest, which we've all been questioning since the beginning of this.
No, Betty, we haven't all been questioning. Only you, because you're fucking paranoid.
Whole situation. If you guys are wondering what's going on with her
And
voice,
you can't accept personal
I'm in the process of losing
responsibility
it.
for anything.
You know, it's kind of crazy. I don't know if it has something to do with what's in the air.
And Seth and whatever that other idiot's name is. Hey, Kay Kanuga. Hello to anybody coming in. Oh, what the hell was I just going to say? Damn it. Oh, Seth and the other guy. You better listen up very closely. Listen to the venom that spews out of her. You and I promise you, it's not if, it's when. You will find yourself on the receiving end of her bullshit. Whether you don't split the fucking grift with her, whatever the case may be. If I had to guess, I would say that most people who've fallen out with her, they haven't really understood what it was. I would guess that it would be something minor that a normal person wouldn't fucking lose their mind over. But this is Betty we're talking about here. So I don't know. Just beware, because everybody else has had a turn. Not that kind of turn. Nobody wants that kind of turn, which might be what her problem is. But your turn it's coming.
Or whatnot. But either way, what you're hearing out on these streets are absolutely bona fide lies. I have up to a year to be served. This is going to, from what I'm understanding from the attorney, this will continue to be continued.
Well, wait a minute. You were just raising money for an attorney. Now you've got attorney. You got an attorney. Is Better Call Saul your attorney? Did you turn that on and have a consult with Saul? Like, Betty, you need to get like, well, when you're sick, you can do doctor on demand. You need to keep like a pocket lawyer, like in your, God knows her pockets are fucking big enough. And not in that way, not in that good way. Yeah, you need to keep a lawyer on speed dial, actually, because when you want to be this person, see, this is what I don't get about her. She has no real life accomplishments. She has no accomplishments. She is not significant or exceptional in any way, except all the wrong ways. But you want to be this person who Like, I'm sorry, normal people don't behave like this. Normal people don't think they have cases when you don't even have the fucking case filed, much less cases. You're just a fucking grifter who has found a way to not have to beg in front of the 7-Eleven. You can do it in the air conditioning on your fucking, in your beautiful home office, or, you know, in Black Beauty as you're reporting from on the scene.
Continued until
Fucking
I'm
delusional.
properly served. So it has nothing to do with the fact that I tried to avoid process.
You're a fucking liar. You are an absolute liar, because if that were not the case, you would have service of process by now. You'd have it. Go to Tennessee. Go get it.
The service. I wasn't even in the damn state. So let's
Well,
speak
we'll
real
never
here,
know,
not,
because
gibberish
nobody
and
would
lies
answer
from
the
these
door.
people that are trying to make
Gibberish.
clicks and views off this illegal process, this abusive process, this malicious prosecution.
Like, see, I just don't know how. No right thinking person could say the shit that she says and behave the way she behaves. It's outrageous.
Let's call it what it is. You know,
I
don't
think
think anybody in their
have.
right mind actually believes this horse garbage. I've done absolutely nothing
No,
wrong.
Betty, that's where you're confused. The majority of people believe it. The only ones who don't believe that you're a bag of shit are these fucking weirdos that sit in your chat. They're LCD people like you. And for the life of me, I mean, I'm sure there's a few there that, for God, I couldn't explain why. But there's probably a few that actually are decent people and maybe are educated. But like I said, I don't get it. As an educated person, I don't want to give my valuable time listening to someone who sounds fucking illiterate most of the time and absolutely writes like she's illiterate.
So again, there is for people that want to put up, a dollar will do. Go ahead, and if somebody wants to drop my
$1 will do, bitch. You better get about 1 million fucking $1 donations, because that's what you're gonna need. All your lawsuits and the ones that are certainly going to be coming that we don't even know about yet, $1 will do. Well, there's a distinct difference between me and Betty. $1 will do. Yeah, I'd say $100 would do, you know, if I was grifting for a lawyer. But I don't have to grift for a lawyer or anything else. I just buy it. I mean, not that I can buy anything my little heart desires. I certainly cannot. But, you know, I manage expectations. So yeah, Betty, you go ahead. You keep on buying fucking flyers. I'll buy shoes and bags and maybe buildings.
my PayPal, Cash App, and
Oh, you're so
Venmo.
fucking
You guys
gross.
can go ahead and do
God,
that.
you're
But
disgusting.
we are getting an attorney. I am going to be going after this
How does
whole-
that feel to have to fucking beg for everything? My God. I don't even beg my husband.
and attacking this whole. I'm not going to be in a courtroom with these animals. They're too scared of me. Remember, so why?
You're the fucking animal. And I think you need a rabies shot, and I think you need a flea collar, because you still have that unfortunate itchy problem. I'm noticing.
They're trying to pull me back into their area. It's kind of weird since they're so scared. But this was
They have to get you there for the judge to sign on the dotted line to tell you to stay the fuck away from them. I mean, are you never mind. That's strictly rhetorical when I say, are you stupid? Because we all know the answer to that.
was done nothing but to be malicious, and we have
What?
that recorded. We have all these people.
You live in the realm of malicious, as far as I'm concerned. You live in the state of evil in the city of malicious.
That they've been working with recorded. Those are all being turned over. So one good thing is the courts don't listen to YouTubers, right? So these people, these animals.
Only the one that is stupid enough to put all her insane fucking ramblings on YouTube for the entertainment of all.
That are on YouTube.
I think they'll
They're not
listen
going
to
have a
that
chance in
one.
hell to be heard by this judge. Long story short
No,
is now that we know that there may be
nobody.
in the
Do you think that I think the judge should hear me? Absolutely. Of course not. I mean, do you say anything that isn't rhetorical? Except, of course, you couldn't spell and or define rhetorical if your very life depended on it. So that was a rhetorical question.
Sumner County Sheriff actually working with the Proudfoots, causing this conflict of interest. It's time for.
Really, Betty? Really? I mean, I know I said this is what you were going to do, but God, girl, you even surprise me sometimes. I had a little tiny bit of hope that no, that's just what she always says, Lisa. She's going to put her big girl and big, I do mean big girl panties on. Oh God, can you imagine? I guarantee you Betty wears granny panties. Guaranteed.
For us to start writing the state attorney. And this is the state attorney of Tennessee. Not
Betty, my guess is much like the FBI has their, most wanted, I'm sure the state of Tennessee has their most wanted, and they probably also have at least fictional, boy, the top 10 people we wish would never cross the border of their state into ours. Like, I'm sure the state of Tennessee, they don't ever want you to come back. They don't need your fucking help, and they don't want you there.
District attorney. The good news.
Oh, Betty, I remember your first letter writing campaign to the district attorney. Do you remember? I tried to help you out because it was riddled with fucking not only spelling, grammar, usage errors. She did not even know how to address the DA. She could not even figure out the proper honorific title, how to address him. I was nice enough to tell her that too. And I was very nice about it. I mean it. I remember I said something like, and this is going back a couple of years. She was new on the scene. And I remember, and I had watched her. I was watching her to try and, figure out who is this chick? Was she just trying to what the fuck was that dumb bitch doing in front of the laundries? I want to hear what she's all about now that she's here. Yeah, I didn't stay long. But I remember I said something like, I'm pointing these things out to you because I know how important this seems to be to you. So I would hate for you to waste your valuable time of fucking doing nothing, making flyers with crayons. I knowing how important this is to you, I want it to be taken as serious as you want it to be when they read it. She couldn't even be bothered to say thank you, fuck you, because that's who she is. And I promise you, this was before she was new on the scene. So I didn't know anything except the laundry house. And I was willing to give her a chance because she came up in my feed. But no, it became apparent very quickly that she's just a fucking clown. I mean, honestly, you call yourself a legal professional. She called it, what did she call that letter writing campaign? One letter, one stamp, one envelope. Of course, you got to get your own stamp, your own envelope. Betty was going to be kind enough to provide you the form letter. All you had to do was print it out, sign it. I wouldn't have signed my name to that fucking illiterate mess if my life depended on it. I mean, one letter, one stamp, one envelope. So Betty, I certainly hope you've figured out how to properly address the people that you're speaking to. That's called an honorific. Okay. Look it up.
I hear that the judges here are fair and they follow the letter of the law. So I think
God damn it,
this
Betty.
will be resolved very, very, very soon.
Seriously, Betty? You back the blue. You love the law. You're a constitutionalist, but you always seem to come from a place of Well, they could be corrupt. They're not doing their job. They're biased against Bullhorn Betty. You're a fucking child. You are. And if I was somebody sitting in your chat or co-signing your fucking wingman, the fucking t-shirt maker to the stars, that fucking idiot, Sonia, I'd be embarrassed. Like, this is what you co-sign. Congratulations.
And we are going to still be moving forward with, because that was one of the things I could just sit out for a year. And I told him, no, we have the vigil, we have the gathering.
Because that's what all people do who are innocent of the allegations being leveled against them and who want to vindicate their good name. Good name. I love it when Betty says, you have damaged my reputation. Bitch, you've got a fucking arrest record a mile long. People say she's got an arrest record like a CVS receipt. Fuck that. She's got an arrest record like a grocery receipt.
Voices, and those are
gathering of voices. Well, Betty, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna I hope you've got like alternate locations planned, because if I were them, I'd be waiting for you to show up at your gaggle of voices. And then I'd follow you to the next place if I didn't get you served at that place. See, some people think you need a payday real badly. What do you do? Do you set out like a bucket with your face on it? Donate to the Bullhorn Betty Legal Fund because I just can't stop being an asshole. Betty, you know how many TROs have been taken out against me? 0. Do you know how many are pending on me right now? 0. Do you know how many times I've been arrested? 1 when I was 18 for a check charge. I learned my lesson. You know how many DUIs I have? 0. You know how many times I've run down the street dirty with no shoes on and no pants on before being arrested? 0. I could go on. I think you get the point.
Absolutely essential to bringing awareness to Sebastian, and I'm not going to let the Proudfoots or the Bowersocks or their terror on the community as well as my channel.
I only see one person terrorizing the community.
Continue and succeed. So thank you, B. Betty. So we are right now. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you've never succeeded at much of anything. So why is this going to be different?
Maisie. So I was actually, there just are some nuances with this. And we're going to
nuance. Tell me what they are. First of all, I need you to define that word. Are they nuances or is it nebulous? Which one? She can't define either one. See, Betty hears buzzwords. Betty hears smart people or smarter than her, which is most people. And she'll key in on a word, but you see, Betty doesn't know how to use the words properly, kind of like bode. And bode's really not a big word, Betty. Behoove, bode. There's a few others.
be going through the process. But,
nothing nuanced about that or nebulous.
And we will be pursuing this to the bitter end. This is going to be a fight to the bitter end. And I hate to tell you.
Over what? Bitch, you don't have the money to fight to the bitter end. And everything about you is bitter. The beginning, the middle, the end, it's all bitter.
Once this is all done, and the
it'll never be done
because
you're not right. It'll never be done because you fucking need this like you need oxygen. It's the only thing that fills you up. Do you ever ask yourself why you're alone? And it's not because I keep picking the wrong man. I don't need anybody. I've got a dog. Oh, that poor dog. I mean, you're alone because you're miserable. See you next Tuesday. And I just caught myself because I really wanted to say it, but I'm not a dirtbag like you. So even though I think that's what you are, I'll just tell you you're a miserable next Tuesday and we'll leave it there. And you'll always be alone.
Oh, they did this to themselves. and they can sit there and spread and sit there and try to smear blame
How
on
did
Betty. But at the end of
exactly
the
how?
day,
How did they do
I have a
this to
funny feeling it's all
themselves?
going to be going away.
How? What is all the foul, disgusting shit you have said, and then your creepy fucking stalkerish behavior following them, driving by their house? What exactly did they do to bring that on? Because they won't sit back and let you continue your stalker behavior. But unlike you, they're going to try and put a stop to it the legal route. She is a fucking child, and she cannot stand being told no. Whether it's the law, whether it's the family of a missing child, it doesn't matter who it is. She's a bully. She's a bully because she's miserable and her self-esteem is in the toilet. So this is all she has in her life, is to pick on people who are already in a circumstance that she could not possibly understand, because she's never had children. Thank God.
We will see how it goes. There's no,
But you know what?
there's no
I got
rhyme or reason.
I got a funny feeling that if Betty was blessed with children, well, who do you think would be involved in Betty's life and her children's life? I don't know. I'm sure there's more than one 3-letter agency that would probably at some point get involved. Betty's not mother material, not even to a dog.
For this, you know, again, I haven't been there for over a month. They waited until Faith was sent home, and the very next day they just go down here and say they're fearful for their life, but apparently they weren't.
Stop bringing that baby's name into this, you foul fucking pig. You are a ditch pig. You're disgusting. You are so gross. I tell you what, she's not my child. I don't know those people. I don't have anything to do with those people. I don't follow the case. I'm a normal person who hopes the best for all involved. I hope Sebastian is brought home alive and well, and whoever is responsible, if someone is responsible for his disappearance and he didn't wander off, I hope they're punished to the fullest extent of the law. That being said, to hear you put a baby's name in your filthy mouth as some kind of fucking dog whistle or a threat, God, you are such a scumbag. You are an absolute scumbag. There is no fucking low you will not sink to.
Fearful.
You are
for their life when Faith was
depraved.
here, right? But now that we know that all these problems and all these threats are going their way, maybe it's an unsafe place for Faith to ever come back to.
You have no fucking control, thank God, over anything that happens with that child. And I do believe, my understanding is that that custody situation has already been determined.
I don't know. You know, that's something that Nina will have to gauge if she hears about this. But, you know, at the end of the day,
The best thing Nina could do, and I don't know Nina, but the best thing Nina could do is live her life, raise her child to the best of her ability, have the best possible relationship that she can have with that child's father, Christopher Proudfoot. That's what Betty, I know you don't understand this because you're not mature and you don't love anything. And I don't think anything loves you. But what grown-ups do when they have a child, well, they have to love their child more than they hate each other. You will have absolutely no understanding of what that means. And Nina, I'm sure I don't need to tell Nina that she would be well served to stay as far away from this white trash fucking dumpster fire as possible. Because trash like you are, because trash like you that has nothing in their life, they have to, this is what you have to do to get attention, even though it's completely negative attention. You have to insert yourself into someone else's life. and she would be well served to stay as far away from you as possible.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I
of course.
afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 100.
Just wait for the judge. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Get a fucking bra. Oh
they
my
have
God,
free-
your tits look like udders. Seriously. They're like pancakes. Tube socks, tennis balls in a tube sock is what my husband would call those. Yep, that's what Betty's got. Oh, Betty, get a bra. Put a bra on. I'm just trying to help you. You got enough problems. I mean, this is one problem in your life that you could actually help pretty quickly. Just put a fucking bra on.
You got too close, and that's what I think it is. But either way,
How many days
find
in a
out
row
what
has she worn that fucking tank top? Does anybody know? Every time I see her, she's got that disgusting tank top on. And brown, Betty, brown is not your color.
is going on
No color is
in
your
the court,
color.
what is actually being said.
That one's really ugly.
Again, we did hire an attorney.
Really? Well, great. Then the docket will reflect that it shouldn't take long, because anytime someone hires an attorney, they have to do what is called a notice of appearance, and that gets filed with the clerk and it goes into the case file on the docket. So this is one area where we will not have to wait for Betty to produce receipts.
For this action, and I'm going to be hiring another attorney after this action is over and done with.
Bitch, you can't afford one fucking attorney, and now you're getting two. Oh boy. Well, listen, I'm quite sure that even though you have no fucking case, there's some attorney that'll gladly take your money.
You can't do this to people maliciously. And
No, but you can do all the malicious shit you want. That's how it works, right? Okay, Betty.
this was done out of malice. We have all the screenshots. Anybody that talks about this or talks about their contact with Chris Proudfoot, make sure you screenshot that and send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Bullhorn.
Wow. Betty, you better rent some space on a server farm, because oh goodness, so what you're saying is you're moving out of binders now, and you're going to get a server, because I don't know, you probably won't have enough room on your how does Betty run her operation? On her phone? Oh no, that's right. She's got that very expensive camera that it took her subs a fucking year to buy her a camera that cost, how much was that camera? $4,000. That camera was probably in the pawn shop about a week later. Yeah. Ooh, Betty's hiring a team. Who's your lawyer, Bets? I can't wait to find out. I'll be sure to look him up on Martindale Hubble.
Betty@gmail.com. Everybody's wanting to know, why am I using an attorney for this and not for the other whale?
Because you know that you fucked up, and you are so far, even you have even though you've been out of your depth your entire litigious career, I think even you know that you're really out of your depth now.
It's because these people actually have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out at. You know what I'm saying? And the ghetto trash.
Unlike you. Well, guess what? I got a pot to piss in and a lot of windows to throw it out of. And
that I'm suing in Illinois is just that, ghetto trash. So it doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to.
Well, let's see if you can raise as much money as what you're calling ghetto trash. Bitch, you are a ditch pig. What? Is there some reason? And obviously, I'm friends with Queen Bee. I absolutely do not think she is ghetto trash, but it's particularly rich coming from this one. You are, Betty, you are the fucking poster. You look like you should be Miss February in the People of Walmart calendar. You are ghetto trash. And I don't know why you don't think you are. In my world, Betty, do you know what you would represent in my world? Well, you might be cleaning my toilets, or maybe you'd be mowing my lawn. That's what you represent in my world, Miss Ghetto Trash.
to throw it out at. She spends all of her money on God knows what. So
None of your
there you have
fucking
it. You know,
business, you nut
I don't know if
job.
she's retained the $70,000
Oh my
she's raised. We'll find out
God.
eventually. Getting attorney is smart. Well, of course.
Oh, and if in the event you are not full of shit, which to me is your baseline, but in the event you're not full of shit and you actually do get your pay piggies to get you a lawyer, well, girl, you're going to find out exactly how much a lawyer costs. And oh my God, all we can do is cross our fingers and hope that they take the same legal tactics that this skank likes to take, which is, oh, let's just try and bankrupt you into submission. But you see, she doesn't fucking have anything. So there's not much to get. But, you know, I would say a retainer is going to be a minimum of $5,000. And let me tell you how quickly you can go through a retainer, especially if you file a bunch of bullshit motions, etc. A lot of unnecessary emails, blah, blah, blah. If they need any help, I'm playing ghetto legal games like the likes that, you know, this one likes to play, because that's all you can do when you don't really have any intellect. You ever notice that? Betty just uses copy and paste, probably chat GP3, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't use it, so I don't know. She never really has any, for the life of her, she cannot concisely or coherently lay out how Queen Bee has defamed her. So instead, like with all her suits, I would imagine, it's just about costing you money. That's all it's about. That's her strategy. That is her legal strategy. And that's what stupid people do.
The socks will run into the wrong person someday.
So will you,
Well,
sweetie.
you know, it's just really sad
just
because this should have been about Sebastian, and they turned it around to try to take the focus off Sebastian.
You
yet
don't
again
give a fuck
put it on
about
another,
Sebastian. You know what Sebastian is to you? Well, he's your toilet paper. He's gas in your car. Well, he's not taxes. He's not you paying your property taxes. We know that. We know he's not like lipstick or shampoo or clothes. We know he's none of those things. So what are you doing with all that money, Bets? Staying in roach motels? Betty, do you have like a, I don't know, do you maybe have some extracurricular activities that cost you money? I don't know. Like, well, it wouldn't be shopping. We know that. That's my guilty pleasure. I love online shopping. Yeah. What kind of extracurricular activities do you like, Bets?
You know, BS story to run amok. They look like shit. Can you imagine? Your child is missing and you spend
Nobody
more
looks
time about
shittier than
something
you,
that
babe.
You said, please talk about my son. Please post flyers. Please keep his name out there. And the one person that's doing that, the strongest in the lab.
Betty, what makes you think that you look like and behave as someone that anyone would want anywhere near their child, missing or not?
Loudest is the one that they're trying to stifle their freedom of speech and
oh
their
my
ability to come
God,
and go.
prissy.
So
Holy
again,
shit.
this is
How the hell are you?
But
Girl,
the attorney has been purchased.
I should have called you.
Raising,
oh God. Girl, you should have texted me back and said, hey, did you forget? Fuck. How are you? Oh my God, it is so nice to see you on here. I'm excited. I'm glad you've come back. Text me later. We need to talk.
Currently
not much
money
has
to get
changed,
him
as you can
on board, I
see.
should say. So if you would like to assist in that, you're more than welcome to. That's all they do is trash people who are looking. Yes. And this has been the problem. Everybody wanted to know. They kept saying, the Proudfoots aren't doing this. The Proudfoots aren't harassing people. The Proudfoots aren't running people off. The Proudfoots aren't threatening people. Well, you know what?
How about you? What are you doing? Why don't you worry about yourself? Just like they tell you when you're in, first grade. Worry about yourself. Betty is so jealous of these people because they have more than her. So, of course, they're a target for her. Betty, it's not always going to work for you. In fact, when does it work for you?
Out here who the problem was. And without a doubt, they
You?
are absolute problems.
You're a huge problem.
It already is backfiring on them.
Betty, you're a fucking blight on society. Okay? You are a blight on society. Internet and otherwise. Real world and the internet.
Think about it, every single law enforcement agent that has, or retired law enforcement agent that has a YouTube channel or other social media are absolutely 100% talking about.
Betty, how come none of them appear on your channel? I'm just wondering, since you're, such a great child finder and advocate, etc. How come none of those? There isn't a legit channel that will come within a mile of you. And there's a reason for that.
Chris and Katie's ability not to get off their ass for their son, but surely can move quickly for Bullhorn Betty. That seems awfully suspect. And it's awfully suspect.
Maybe because they're fucking terrified of you, because you act like a lunatic. Could that be it at all?
Suspect that
you follow these people from state to state. It's not even just Tennessee. Did she not go to Missouri or something and point out what she said was Chris's RV? You act like a fucking lunatic. It's not normal. It is not what normal people do. And you can sit and have your team and you can tell yourself that doing all this shit is a job. It's only a job if you're a fucking crazy person.
They have a friend in the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and there is a friend in Sumner County Sheriff's Office that is helping and guiding
for
them.
them.
And I think it's
and
time.
In the case of you, I don't give a fuck. I hope they do. Somebody needs to stop you. Somebody needs to give you a consequence for your fucking abusive, unhinged behavior.
For us to start, people that are out there in the Tennessee area, it's time for you to start making public information requests on locating anybody and everybody that has reached out to Chris and Katie by phone, so we can find out who the person creating this conflict of interest. You
are out of your fucking mind. What are you talking about? Public information request? You want anybody who's reached out to Chris and Katie? Honey, go ahead and try that. They will tell you to get fucked so fast. Well, I was going to say faster than anybody would want to carry that out in literal terms. Quite literally, Betty.
Seth is having problems trusting Sumner County. It's this right here. We knew about the sister. They would not confirm whether
Seth, I don't know if you're having problems with Sumner County or not. I've heard that various places. I can tell you, having this skank as your mouthpiece, that's not helping your problems. That I know.
Whether the sister works for them or not, or works for another branch like Hendersonville Police Department. But it does sound like there is somebody.
Is that against the law now to have a relative who might work for the county? Because Betty, the judge, if there was any conflict of interest, the judge would recuse themselves. See, that's what professionals do. You are not a professional at fucking anything. So, and you have no ethics. So you don't understand these things, but that's how it works.
At the Sumner County Sheriff, that is awfully cozy with the Proudfoots, which is going to cause problems because.
Would that be the sheriff that just died or the new sheriff? Which one? And it is not a conflict of interest in and of itself for them to know the sheriff. There's a big fucking difference between knowing the sheriff and, having dinner at his house every Friday night. Idiot.
At the end of the day, I trust.
Wants everything to look nefarious.
Law enforcement on here, like
and
Coffindaffer and other creators that
it's not always nefarious. Betty, I know you don't understand this because you're not like an upstanding member of the community, but I can tell you this: when your family or you when you contribute to society instead of just being a taker, when you contribute to society and you tend to, oftentimes people who people who are productive and who have, you know, maybe better, higher paying careers. You know, you oftentimes you find yourself seeing the same people at the same places. And that's not nefarious. That's just, you wouldn't know because you're at the bottom of the fucking, you know, social ladder. So you wouldn't get things like that. But it's not a it's not a crime to socially know someone in law enforcement, whether it's the sheriff, a cop. If it rises to the level of a conflict of interest, they recuse. That's just how it happens.
And when they start looking at this and seeing the behavior of the Proudfoots, and now are starting to say, you know, we need to look at this house, we need to look at this house, we need to look at the people inside this house, and it appears that only Katie's inside this house, it really does bring, you know, proof to power that
it brings proof to power. I've heard speak truth to power. I've never heard it brings proof to power. But carry on. Do tell.
There is some explaining to do. And why is there?
There is absolutely zero fucking explaining due to you. Okay, none. That's where you're all confused, Betty.
Been such secrecy from the Sumner County Sheriff's Department in this case when they should be informing the public of.
Fuck you. They are protecting their investigation because nowadays it's not enough that they have to deal with all the fucking scourge of the earth that they're investigating for this, that, and the third. Now they have to deal with the scourge of the earth like you, fucking weirdos on the internet who think that they are investigators, who think that they know more, who think they're more capable, when in reality, she is not privy to anything more than the rest of us, except, you know, the child's father could possibly, I don't know, maybe they're having pillow talk at night. I don't know. But she could be getting, well, she's probably definitely getting Seth's version of what he thinks happened, etc. And, you know, I'm not going to say a whole lot about Seth because it is his child and the child is missing. I will continue to tell him that being in league with this skank, if you don't think that says something to people like me and all the other, you know, normal thinking people who would never in 1 million years fucking get involved with her. Seth, there are far better people with bigger channels and better channels that would be glad to try and do whatever they can for you. This one, I have a feeling that, I don't know, are y'all maybe in some kind of little financial arrangement? She can bring you nothing. She can do nothing for you except bring a lot of what you don't need into your life. And you will find that out.
Of certain aspects of this, and even Chris McDonough also confirmed that they should be speaking of certain aspects to the public, which they're not. And
well, guess what? Chris McDonough is retired, and he doesn't get a say. He has not been privy to the case file. He doesn't get a say in what they do or do not discuss with the public. So sit down and shut up.
Again, the conflict of interest that the Sumner County.
Why are you so fucking invested? That's what I want to know. Why are you so invested in this? Oh, that's right. Because you have no fucking man. You have no friends. You have no job. You have no life. If you think that I go to bed at night thinking about Sebastian Rogers, you'd be sadly mistaken. He's not a thought in my head. I want him to be found. Just like all the rest, just like all the normal people who sit back and watch the news at night or whatever it is. And they say, oh my God, that is so sad. I hope they find that kid. Yeah. You're a fucking weirdo who knows no boundaries and has nothing in her miserable, shitty life except this.
County is creating with their friendliness of the Proudfoots and Bowerstocks is, in my opinion,
Hey,
toxic,
everybody.
and I think it's going to be causing problems in this case, because I don't believe
Ding,
that
ding,
they
ding,
are
ding,
investigating
ding.
this
Winner,
case
winner,
as they
chicken
should,
dinner.
if that's how they're handling this.
Only a matter
But
of
either
time.
way, I don't know. I wasn't there. Like I said, I wasn't properly served. Thank you, Lisa. I wasn't properly
Well, then get
with
served.
the paperwork, and even being served down here, from my understanding, they still don't have jurisdiction.
Betty,
on
are
it
you
over me. They have
are
to-
you
they have
scratching
to
your
serve me.
stubble? What are
Um,
you scratching over here? Like, are you a fucking woman? Honestly, are you a woman? I question. You are the least feminine thing I've ever seen, and you sit and you like, it's so gross. Like, God, are your legs even crossed? I know mine are. Are your legs crossed by any chance? Somehow I doubt it.
in
Hell, she probably doesn't have
Tennessee
pants
to have
on.
jurisdiction over me. So it's still all up in the air
That's,
what is going
see
on.
those
but,
bracelets? That's Betty's version of jewelry. Yeah, let's see. Today I'm wearing a Tiffany bangle that my father gave to my mother on their 25th wedding anniversary, and it's engraved on the inside. And my grandmother's old school charm bracelet. Yeah. And Betty's wearing 2 rubber bracelets, no doubt with some missing or dead child's name on them. That's Betty's version of Tiffany.
either way, we are working on resolving this, and it's going to be quite a pretty penny.
What exactly are you doing? How are you working to resolve this? Stretch your fat ass either into Sumner County Clerk of the Court or Manatee County Clerk of the Court, or fuck, I don't know, maybe anywhere in between. Well, no, it can't be anywhere in between. One of the two. Go get it. God knows you love a good courthouse. That's a vacation for Betty, going hitting every fucking courthouse from Maine to Spain.
Right now, to get this stuff to go away, and
Oh, you are
whatever needs to be
pathetic.
done in the court record
Ugh.
to fight this.
God, I need you to put a
obviously,
bra on.
this channel, has suffered a lot because of the shenanigans that Queen Bee
Because of your own shenanigans, because people fucking hate you. What do you not get about this? You are your problem. Nobody else is your problem. You are your problem. And if you were not such a bag of shit, I wouldn't be sitting up here talking about you. You have never seen me sit in this seat and drag a nice person.
Illuminati and all of their hateful gang keep doing to try to get me in trouble and
Like
try to
what?
get me arrested.
The hateful, is that like the Hateful Eight? Wasn't that, I think that was a movie. I think I saw that movie, The Hateful Eight.
wrong? And yes, they are all connected to each other.
She's wearing a shirt that says happy. Oh my God. Oh, Betty. Oh, Jesus. Girl, am I going to have to send you 2 thank you notes? She is sitting up there just ripping on everybody. And she throws them over her shoulder to show us. Happy. Bitch, I think you were born miserable. I don't even think you were happy when you were born. Oh my God. Oh, this just gets better and better. Oh, come on, Betty, get happy.
JLR, I told you guys that a long time ago, and nobody wanted to believe me. Well, now you're starting to see them all come together. And proving what I was saying literally at the beginning of this case.
Now. Name that tune,
The
Betty.
attacks on Seth, which is again an innocent father that has
Betty, stop doing that to your hair. I keep telling you, next time, one of these times, you're going to do that, and you're going to be holding a giant tumbleweed of fried fucking dryer lint.
absolutely nothing wrong, and had absolutely nothing to do with his. If you guys can, I just want to let you know that Super Sticker.
If you guys can, please give me all your money. Yes, if you can, if you can't, it's okay. But I'm gonna need your money. Okay. If you guys can, Betty, I will pay your retainer, but I'm gonna have some things I'm gonna need you to do. Happy. I hope underneath the word happy it says never a day in my life. Hey, all you sexy eligible bachelors out there. Are you looking to take a ride on the Hot Mess Express? Meet contestant number 1. This is Happy Betty. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, I can't. I can't believe she's wearing a fucking shirt that says happy. Okay, let me compose myself. Okay. Hi. Okay, come on, folks. Let's continue getting happy here.
30% is taken by YouTube. So if you guys would like to support the cause, I really do recommend the Cash App.
If you guys want to support the cause, I strongly recommend you circumvent YouTube and send all your money to my Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, MoneyGram, Western Union, Amscot. Oh my God, you are so pathetic. Oh, Betty, you have no pride. I mean, clearly, look at her. We know she has no pride. But I mean, how do you do this? How do you come on here and fucking beg for money like this? I guess it beats a median and a fucking tin cup, but God almighty. You know what? Honestly, I've never understood. Bullseye. Wait. Hi, Brad. Well, don't hang out too long because Betty can ruin anybody's buzz. Of that, I'm sure. I have never understood, and I'm not trying to like screw up anybody because she's not the only one who does this, but I have never understood. So YouTube takes 30%. Why is it that they allow people to circumvent them getting their 33%? And I know it's a lot of money, but think about it. YouTube's paying the server farm. Or, they had to build it, whatever the case may be. They've got money in the servers. Hey, Rowena. Hey to anybody coming in. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to get used to this new setup, and I'm no better at reading the chat than I was with one monitor. But every once in a while, I glance up. I'm going to work on it. I promise. But it shocks me that YouTube has never because all they'd have to do is put software in there that would, alert them that somebody's using PayPal, Venmo, all the things. It's always puzzled me why they let people do it.
Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
Oh, Rhonda.
So long story short is we are prepared for this. We are prepared to fight. And if they thought that I was going to be present in a courtroom, they are gravely mistaken. I am sending an attorney in my place. And
why? Wait a minute. You were so pissed that Queen Bee wasn't at your court hearing. So you yourself are not going to go? Rules for thee, but not for Betty.
So, that is where we're going to go with this. I'm over it. I'm over the bullshit. I'm over the lies. I'm over the fakeness of all of this. I'm over the clickbait of all these hate channels that don't know what they're talking.
Oh, God, Betty, you've already gotten your karma, honey. A lot of it anyway. You are sitting there looking like a whole ass fucking linebacker. Eileen Warnos, Joe Dirt, Dusty Rhodes, wearing a shirt, the most miserable bitch in the world who just drips venom, wearing a shirt that says happy. You would not know happy if it walked up and punched you in your face. That would make a lot of other people happy. She wouldn't know. Hey, I'm happy. Nice to meet you, bitch.
Talking about this would be, from my understanding, the way the attorney explained it to me, this will be continued until I am properly served. So it will continue and continue and continue. It has nothing to do with any other thing than the fact that they have not properly served me. And it's not that
you are a cowardly bag of shit.
Again, you guys seen where I was when I found out.
Miss Member of the Media, it's not you seen where I was. It is you saw where I was. Oh, okay. Is it me or is that picture still fucked up? And what is that picture, by the way? It looks like a panda bear on a leash down at the bottom. Seriously, look at this. What is this? What is this? I can't. I'm getting like I clearly see black and white. Either that or like it's a mannequin with a Hitler mustache and a bad wig standing next to somebody wearing what looked like wedge boots. But every time I see her, I don't know if it's her. Is she leaning? Is the picture like, are you on a fault line? I feel the earth move under my feet. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And could you please fix it? I'm tired of looking at it. Although it's probably not your place. So you can't like just be reaching up and, fixing pictures. But Betty, my goodness, if it's not an optical illusion, and I'm so hoping it's not, if it's not an optical illusion, you better hope you're not on a fault line, because if that corner of that picture came down and whoop, embedded itself in your skull, well, my goodness, that would not be good. I mean, that looks like, well, not for you anyway. That looks like it could, require stitches. So I don't know. You might want to address this picture situation. Hey, Rowena, I hope you feel better. At least you can laugh from your sick bed, I hope.
You guys know where I was. So all these people are lying to their
Where?
audience. They don't understand the process.
What the
Well,
hell?
the judge, or not the judge, but the attorney.
My
explained it to
God,
me
look at
very
the
clearly.
difference in color
And it's not
between her ham hocks up top and now listen, Betty. I am the first to admit I fuck up my hands when I fake tan all the time. But I typically manage to get both, my upper arm and my lower arm the same color. What is going on here? Why are you, well, you look like you could pass for Italian. On the bottom from the elbow down, but you're the color of paste from the elbow up. Like, can you fix this situation, please? I'm sick of looking at you. Oh my. And then we've got all this fried out fucking chest, Farmer Brown. Oh God, Betty.
what they're putting out there. It's the simple fact. It should have went away, but especially from my
God,
understanding.
look at her. Look at her. Betty's pretending this is that fucking bitch, Crimes and Fashion. Oh, or is that her ex-husband? Or maybe her mom. Oh. God, Betty, the body language. It's not good. Oh, that's her Trump tan. Okay. Yeah, Snoopy, it's her new disguise. Well, never mind. I was gonna say, yeah, it's her new disguise. Joe Dirt, but it's not new. It's just Joe Dirt crossed with Eileen Wuornos with a tan.
Our socks and the profits didn't show up. Nobody was in that courtroom, and that's why the information, I think, was skewed, because they could skew it because nobody was in the courtroom.
Well, honey, I'm a little confused here. If nobody was in the courtroom, then how was anybody skewing anything or not skewing? Am I missing something here? If nobody showed up, what is there to skew?
But my attorney did reach out to the clerk and got to the bottom of it and got exactly.
Not that kind. She's bringing sexy back. She never had it to begin with. There's nothing to bring back. God. She wants to be known for her brains, not her beauty. So it must suck being known for neither.
exactly what was said in the courtroom and everything else like that. So we are going to work on that. Again, I would
I don't think
greatly
so either.
appreciate any support. You guys know I did nothing wrong. And that this is
No,
all a ploy
no,
to try to
ma'am.
shut me up and to try to shut
No,
the veterans'
ma'am.
voices
I don't know
down.
you did nothing wrong. I think you did a whole lot wrong.
That is still going forward. They will not win. They can go and run terror with that police department.
Then why are you so twisted up? Fucking calm down. Slow your roll. Like you're off the chain. If there's no there, why? This is Betty being happy. Oh, this is Betty being happy and not bothered.
And the police
She
department can be,
is so
right
pressed.
along with them doing
Betty,
that. They can do that in their community.
just for the sake of the few brain cells you seem to have left and the very tenuous shred of your sanity, I would get yourself served and get into court as quickly as possible because you can't take much more of this. I'll take it as much as you want to put it out there, but you cannot take too much more of this, Betty. Of that, I know.
They can threaten their neighbors. They can pull their weight all over that place, and I really don't give a rat's ass about it. Okay, let me just be honest with you.
You're late to the party. We just covered this.
Anybody from Sumner County. I don't think it's Eric Craddock by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's somebody that is much further.
This
away
is
from
her
this place than
happy.
what is
Be
known. So it's
Tim.
either a sister.
Please notice her
or
shirt.
We're hearing that
And if you want to laugh your ass off, just back it up about 15 minutes when Betty finally leans back enough to reveal her happy.
whatever guy might actually be a sheriff's department employee or something to that effect. So we're going to be finding out either way. Once I get the state attorney,
I'm
we will
seeing
be
some
writing
little
the state attorney.
penguins
We will
going
be
by.
writing up the state attorney's emails and mailing.
Can you picture Betty wearing Pharrell's fucking Smokey the Bear hat? Oh, God.
About
At
what's
least
going
it would
on in
hide
Sumner
her
County.
face.
And we're also going to be reaching out to Marsha Blackburn's office. We're going to be reaching out to the governor's office. We're going to start letting them know that there is somebody.
You reach out all you want. Betty, do you know how many people reach out to the governor and the senator over important shit that really matters? They don't give a fuck about you and your fucking weirdo chat, okay? They don't care. They don't care. I'm just trying to save you a bunch of stamps, okay? Or emails. I'm trying to save you some keystrokes.
Inside Sumner County
Oh,
that is
that's
assisting these parents that
hilarious.
have not been cleared and assisting them in doing criminal activity because
Hi,
that's in my
Brightly.
opinion what they're doing.
Pink stripe,
They're
watcher.
facilitating and assisting
See,
in
Nikki,
the
Brad.
help of crime, a tortious offense. So I'm
It's
not sure how this is
tortious,
all
not
gonna play out, but
tortious,
either
you
way,
stupid fuck.
We'll just move forward.
Tortious? Are you talking about a fucking turtle? And even that's not right. It's tortious, idiot. Here's your legal scholar right here. This is Alan Dershowitz's alter ego. Happy Bullscorn Betty Bullhorn Broderick. Tortious? I believe the word you're looking for is tortious.
You know, I don't know what else to do. I'm not going to be there. I got court.
You could try logging off and shutting the fuck up. That might work nicely for you. And it might have some unexpected benefits. Like, I don't know, improving your fucking flaming bag of shit life.
Hearings, which again,
Just
the only person that this
guessing.
all benefited was who?
You.
Who did all this benefit with
You.
me having 2 court hearings coming up next week? One person.
You.
And one person alone.
Who's that?
Now, whether she looked the other way, why her friends did her dirty lifting like she always does.
Oh,
is one
now
thing, but
she's
this is
talking about Queen Bee.
a concerted effort between multiple.
Everybody get your helmets on. I mean, just Betty's people get your helmets on. People in here don't need their helmets.
Channels on this platform, and you guys all know it. You guys have all watched it.
Mm-hmm. Here comes the paranoia portion of the program. Hey, Liza, Danielle, be still. I'm sorry. I know that people were coming in as I was. Blah, 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 blah. Now I'm actually trying to. I'm making, and I'm trying to do anything to not look at Betty at this point. And now I'm actually looking at the second monitor that my poor husband. I made him spend many hours of his life working on this. I'm not going to tell him tonight that I think I only need one. I think maybe I'll go get myself a shirt that says happy. Oh, that's the best. Hey, Emma, how are you? Cruising these streets. Bright light. Tortious. Yes, Tortious. We don't know if she's talking about a fucking turtle or a civil wrong that has been committed upon her person. Oh, Betty, you're such a dick. Honest to God.
So you guys can sit there. It's like one of these things. Are you guys going to literally look at the truth, see the facts, and then listen
Are you going to point us in the direction of the truth and the facts? And
to the lies? That's what you need to decide for yourself. So if we were to write letters, who should we write to?
oh my God. Here, let me tell you one of the best. I'll never forget this. This very nicely sums up the average fucking dolt that sits in Betty's chat. Are you ready for it? When the University of Idaho was really getting close to tearing down the house that the kids that were killed in the Idaho 4 case. Well, this one, of course, because Betty loves nothing more than a fucking internet crusade that she doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning. So what does she do? She directs all her coffee beans to get out their crayons and a stamp. And this is a letter writing campaign. This is not an email campaign. This is, if I'm not mistaken, it was letter writing. Betty, listen, girl, I'm kind of with you. I like paper myself. I mean, you can tell I'm fucking old and I can't remember shit, and I like paper, and I've always liked paper. However, I don't write with crayons. I don't think in crayon either. And I don't speak in crayon. I cannot say the same for you and your posse. So she tells all her gaggle of dolts to send letters to the University of Idaho president, and you tell him that we want that house left up for, preservation of evidence. And don't even get me going. I swear to God, in the comments was a woman who said, okay, Betty, I'm getting my letter done now. Should I send this? Where do I send this? Should I send it to the governor of Florida, or should I send it to Idaho? I swear to God. And I had a really good laugh over it then too. Like, this fucking woman could not figure out, well, ma'am, Idaho, they're known for potatoes and whatnot. Florida, we're known for orange juice and strawberries. No, like, she couldn't figure out. She needed fucking, ma'am, I hope you wear a helmet. If you don't, you need to. Because if you can't figure out where you should send a letter about your opposition to demolishing a house in Idaho, well, like Betty says, you probably need Jesus. You need more than Betty's help if you can't figure that one out. And hand to God, that is the absolute truth.
We're going to be writing to the state
and this is not the first time I've gotten a good laugh out of it.
And then everything else, I'm going to let the attorney handle. So,
oh, well, in the event that this attorney is actually real and not just residing in Betty's head, can you imagine as soon as he gets wind of what this bag of fucking mess is really like, something tells me his hourly fee is going to double. He'll be firing his client. Yes. The minute that okay, Susie, could you get that fucking bullhorn Broderick woman on the phone? Yeah. We just spent she's got 2 cents. Yes, 2 pennies. She's got 2 pennies left in her trust account. Could you go ahead and give her a call and tell her that unfortunately we've gotten a very high profile case, unlike her fucking stupid bullshit that we're going to need to take because somebody's got to pay the bills in this place. Yeah, just go ahead and tell her that, sorry about your luck, ma'am. We burned through your retainer. How would you like your 2 pennies refunded to you? Would you like that Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, YouTube Super Chat, Amscot, Western Union money order? Or would you just like us to drive by your house and throw them out the window? Oh my God.
That's kind of where we're at. But you know what? We've spent 18 minutes on this nonsense on this live because it's a drama circus that has nothing, like Katie doesn't even care about her son.
Oh, and Betty, I thank you for that. Because Betty, listen, y'all, don't ever think that you're not doing a service here, okay? She is kind of providing, she has one useful purpose, and that is me growing my channel, standing on her very wide back. I love it. I just love it.
She won't even talk about her son. But
she ought to serve some useful purpose in this world.
Spit out her son. Katie, your son's name is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, in case you forgot about him. I'm not
You know what I was thinking the other day? I've heard Seth say many times, I named him Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And I don't know why this popped in my mind. And it's a very nice name. I mean, it's cute. But as I was walking by the TV, I thought, let me guess. Was Seth by any chance a fan of Lil Wayne and Drake? By chance? I don't know why I'd think that, but for some reason I just do.
Sure if you forgot about your son or you just didn't care at all, but I just wanted to remind you what this is all about.
What would you know about a son or a daughter for that matter? You can't even take care of a fucking puppy, and you think you're going to lecture people about how they care and or feel about their child? Save it, Sister Christian.
Your son that went missing on your watch, that just poof disintegrated in your home.
No, that definitely didn't happen.
I think it's very, very poor judgment of Nick Barris to say that the parents have been cleared, and that's what I'm hearing.
You've had a lifetime of poor judgment by the looks of things, and I'm sure Nick Barris is not going to lose one fucking second of sleep giving one single fuck about what you think or have to say.
Hearing Nick Barris say, I don't trust Nick Barris anymore.
Oh, damn, Nick Barris. Look at that. You got yourself off the Bullhorn Betty approved list.
Sheriff, and I believe that 100%.
Very short list.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I
don't know. Because you're
use Amazon AI.
Fucking teeth.
I'm going to show you a way.
So at what point is enough enough? When are we going to see enough from this county to say it's time for us to start really, because there's something not right in Denmark when it comes to this case. We've all felt.
Oh, God, you fucking idiot. There's something fishy in Denmark. That is the exact phrase or euphemism that you're looking for. But as with most things, you got that wrong.
We've all known it. Many people have.
Is there something tortious in Denmark?
Unclean hands when it comes to the Sumner County Sheriff's Department, and it makes me wonder.
You look like you got a whole ass unclean body, so I don't think you need to be worrying about anybody else's hands.
If there are,
get a flea collar.
Try to help find leads.
Take care of that little like
over to them.
itching problem.
It seems like they're very receptive of our gathering, and then we hear something like this.
Our gathering.
And it makes us scratch.
It's going to be like a coven. It's going to be a coven of voices. And they're busy right now building a pyre. And yes, Betty, I said a pyre. Do you know what a pyre is, Betty? Something tells me no.
Scratch your head and say, are they really trying
things
to get
that make you go,
or are they too busy, kowtowing to the mean, bad Chris Proudfoot that likes to throw his weight around and intimidate?
Well, they definitely don't seem to be kowtowing to you now, do they? And oh boy, is that pissing her off.
Is that the kind of law enforcement we have where everybody sticks their tail between their legs? And
no, we have the kind of law enforcement that is governed by probable cause and things like that, and statutes, etc. That's the kind of law enforcement we have. We don't have a fucking Bullhorn Broderick system of justice. Thank God. Betty is more like the dictator of a small, ugly country. And what Betty says goes. And toilet paper cost $278 a roll. And there's no money in the ATMs. Yeah, that's, if Betty were smarter, yeah, she'd be a dictator of a small, ugly country.
And scared
She's
of
not.
good old bad Chris Proudfoot. If that's the case, then why am I such a threat to him if everybody else is so scared of him?
I don't think you're a threat to him. I think he feels much like the rest of us, just amplified by about 1 million, because all the rest of us think you are a fucking menace on society. Imagine how it feels to have a missing child and to have to contend with the likes of you. Speaking of Denmark, hey, kid. How are you? Oh, Betty. You're
Legitimate questions
such
to be
an
asking.
idiot. Well, it's a good thing that they don't owe you a fucking answer and they're not legitimate questions. You're just an idiot.
But at the end of the day, it's about Sebastian Wayne Drake
Oh,
Rogers. He's a
that's
15-year-old
another one
boy
of
who
her
disappeared from
favorites. At the
inside
end of the
their
day.
home. He disappeared on his mother's watch, not Seth's watch, not anybody else's watch.
Yeah,
his
we
mother's
know.
watch.
We
Katie
know.
Proudfoot.
Your
Katie
Honor.
Proudfoot. And Katie and
Redundant.
Chris, I've got over and over and over again. Keep
Asked
his name
and
out there. Keep
answered.
posting flyers. Keep his name out there. We hear that over and over and over again.
You don't hear anybody say a fucking word about flyers except for you. Betty, do you ever wonder why law enforcement doesn't do a flyer campaign? Like, does she? I don't think she does. Nobody gives a fuck about your flyers. You know what I would do with one of your flyers? I'd touch up my lipstick. I'd put it in my bird cage. And I don't say that to be in any way callous about Sebastian, but that's the relevance her fucking flyers have in the world. Nobody gives a fuck about your flyers. Okay?
Right? And prior to them going into hiding, right? Going into hiding because they don't like our commentary because nobody believes their BS.
I think you're in hiding, are you not? And they're in hiding, I would imagine, because they're concerned about unhinged fucking behavior from seeming lunatic acting like people, much like yourself. I mean, they don't owe you their fucking latitude and longitude coordinates, okay? Betty, that's a fancy way of saying GPS coordinates. Hey,
And,
Promise Charlotte,
then we got law enforcement cutting everybody off and
how are
their
you?
community. I hope you guys do not vote for Eric Craddock.
Oh my God. This stupid bitch even wants to tell people in a state that she doesn't live in who they should vote for. Residents of Tennessee, if you're within the sound of my voice, I don't give a fuck who you vote for. But just on principle alone and knowing how intellectually deficient she is, whatever bull skank Betty tells you to do or not to do, I would say just from the thinking woman's position, do the exact opposite.
Police department, then we got some major problems, and it's probably time to have somebody that's really, truly law and order in that community. I understand some people have lived in this community since the 1700s, and that it is like the good old boy.
Since the 1700s. Well, are they still around? What? What does that exactly mean? Some people who've lived in the community since the 1700s. Betty, if you'd have been in the 1700s, they'd have just put you down like the fucking mad cow that you are. Oh, you better be glad American jurisprudence has come a long way since the 1700s.
Boys Club in some of the sense.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I hate to tell you, this is a bigger than the good old boys club. Okay, this is a worldwide news story. This is not a small or just a statewide news story. This is a
Betty, nobody wants you in their club. Good old boys, bad old boys. There's not one boy that wants you anywhere near his clubhouse.
worldwide news story, and everybody is
no
looking
shit.
at this
Which
case.
is why you have
And when
your
we start saying,
grubby
you know, this
hands
doesn't
in
smell
it.
right. Something's not right here.
Hmm.
This is not going. Why did it take them so long to do the forensic?
I don't
Why did they
know.
not do
What
the
I
fingerprint?
think is not right is some fucking unemployed, busted up looking stupid bitch with a criminal record, at least the arrest part, a fucking mile long, getting sued by everybody in the world, 3 fucking restraining orders on him, pretending that she has anything productive to add to this conversation. That's what I find strange.
Prince. Why did they not follow the National Center
Betty's
for Missing and
Betty's
Exploited
gonna.
Children?
Okay, here comes CSI,
Why?
Betty. Everybody, get ready. Oh, Betty, there go all your eggs that you'll never use. Thank God. Yeah, your eggs are scrambled, Betty.
Well, we might be finding our answer sooner than later. Sebastian deserves justice. He deserves
Well,
to
we
be
know
found. He
Betty.
deserves to be
Betty
reunited with
wants
his
to
father.
find Sebastian deceased.
You know, in my
That's what Betty wants. She's already, I think, pretty much declared that he is deceased, along with every other missing child that she's ever put her big fat fucking nasty self into. Yeah, any of those cases. Betty declares the child dead within 5 minutes of it hitting her feed.
opinion, I think Chris and Katie have something to do with Sebastian's disappearance without a doubt. I'm not alone in that criticism. I'm not alone in that opinion.
That's not a criticism. That's a fucking accusation. That's an allegation. That could, you know, only somebody this ignorant says something like that. Because in reality, we don't know what happened to him. I don't know. Here's what I know. I know that I only see, of the 3 parents, and yes, I understand that Chris is a step parent, but that child lived in his house. So of the 3 parents involved in this case, I only see one who is decided to fire up his own YouTube channel. And I'm pretty sure he's monetized. But I'm not in his position, so I'm going to try and withhold. I'm going to give him the grace that I'm going to give all 3 of them. But I only see one. I see 2 that have the good sense to know there's probably not a lot of positives that will come from them playing on YouTube day and night. They definitely knew not to get involved with this thing. I only see one that cannot stop talking and who has decided to throw his lot in with one of the worst, not only creators, but people in general on this whole fucking platform. That's what I see. But I'm not even willing to sit here. I'm still giving the man the grace that I think I should give him, because he is dealing with something, the likes of which it would have me hospitalized. I couldn't. I would be beside myself. I don't. But it's not it. But I will say it's not a good look. It is not a good look that you would get involved with this fucking trash right here, because I understand trying to use this platform as a tool. I understand the desperation as much as I can understand it, not being in those shoes. And that's all any of us can do. That there's not one of us, including this fucking ditch pig right here. There is none of us that can truly know what any of these parents are going through. And it takes a really ignorant asshole to speak in absolutes like this one does. It's not about her opinion. It's not that. She can have whatever opinion she wants, and so can I, and so can you, and so can everybody else. It's not about her opinion. It's about the fact that she's so fucking ignorant. She will not allow for the possibility that she could actually be wrong. And she bases that opinion on nothing more than bullshit that she has seen on the internet, read on the fucking news media. That's it. That's all. And whatever fucking Seth tells her. And gee, do you think he's a little biased and bitter? And I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to be, but that's how fucking ignorant she is. Intelligent people do not speak in absolutes, especially not the gravity of something like this. But nobody's ever accused Betty of being intelligent.
I have a lot of law enforcement handles on this very platform that agree with those statements, that agree with.
I have a lot of. What, are you in charge of the channels now? The law enforcement channels? Do they vet their information through you? You're a fucking clown. You are so desperate for some type of relevance. You have none. You are not. Newsflash. You may be known, but you're not known for one fucking positive thing. You are known for being the fool bag of shit that you are.
That analysis.
Enjoy it.
And it's awfully funny that they don't want any outside.
I don't think she
influence or
enjoys
outside,
anything,
I shouldn't say
as
influence,
you
because
can
that's
see.
not really what it is. Outside.
Does Betty ever fucking laugh? I mean, I know she's got that that fucking bizarre dolphin cackle, but really laugh. Enjoy herself. I don't think she's ever enjoyed a day in her miserable life. How could she and fucking be like this? Hi, Patty. Huh. Oh, Patty. Yeah, I know about the one. I've never heard about the other. Hey, Katie K, how are you? Heartland, honey, how you doing?
Versus coming in. They don't. Otherwise, they would have already asked the Cold Case Foundation to come in, and they have not.
You fucking moron. It's been all of what? A couple months? Has this been going on? Has Sebastian been gone 3 months? 3 months does not a cold case make. Who is this moron? If this, then that. I'm telling you what, there's no hope for her. She's checked out of reality. She's deeply entrenched in fantasy land. But what's the excuse for all you fucking idiots that follow her? That's the part I don't get. Like, I'm starting to think that maybe she can't help being the way she is. Maybe see, I don't speak in absolutes, but I can damn sure think in absolutes. So maybe there's, 6 months. 6 months does not a cold case make. So shut the fuck up.
Why? They're nowhere. If they're nowhere, and from the last time one of my teammates spoke to law enforcement about, this whole thing here, the gathering
team?
of voices, right?
Is this the team up here, or
they seem to need leads? They seem to need more leads.
Well, no shit. I mean, don't you think everybody, except for probably you, all the fucking normies will just say, of course they want more leads. Everybody wants more leads.
And that is exactly what we're.
And how do you know they don't have them and they're not working them? Why would they come out? Why would law enforcement or any of the parents come out and tell this fucking cesspool anything with all the, the armchair fucking brainiacs we got rolling around in this hood?
Cultivating on this channel is more leads for them by keeping awareness on.
No,
Sebastian.
what you're cultivating is super chats. That's what you're cultivating.
And unfortunately, my eyeballs are squarely on Katie.
No, your eyeballs are usually squarely on the ceiling. We're not sure why that is.
Which seems to have had plenty of time to come back here or come back there and then make it to work on time. That's what it appears could have happened.
I don't have a clue what she's talking about because I have a life that does not involve keeping up with the Proudfoots or, knowing when Chris went to work, when he said he went to work, how long it takes him to get to work, blah, 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 blah. What, Betty, why can't you say the same? And there's lots of people in this chat that I know without a doubt are very much following, because I'm not following this. I know that if there's anything that breaks that's significant, trust me, I know Crazy Nurse is going to tell me, but I don't follow this case and a lot or any of these cases anymore. And that's because of the trash like you see on your screen, because they bastardize everything they touch. And it's really sad. I think it's dangerous. I mean, depending on the case, I think it's it's all negative. She brings nothing good to bear for any of these cases. None of them that she gets her fucking grubby mitts into. And just ask yourself this. If she knows so much and she's so insightful and she's just, you know, gets things done. Well, how come you've never seen law enforcement talk to her? And she'll say that in the Summer Wells case that, oh, I sat with law enforcement for 2 hours, 3 hours. Prove it. Prove it. You can't. And I wouldn't fucking believe you if you told me water was wet.
He also disappeared for 17 hours in the middle of a search. And then when he comes back, him and Katie pack up into that very RV that he said he had to get out of there. And they left.
Are you fucking shocked? Because of the fucking internet flunky detectives like you? The fucking I'd call Scooby and Shaggy before I'd call you. Honest to God, I would. Get the mystery van and get on over here. We got a mystery to solve. I mean, people, you're the biggest offender that I see, but people of your ilk that know no fucking boundaries, that think they can just do whatever their fucking crazy thoughts tell them they can do. I think I would, I don't know. Here's the thing. I can't sit here and say what they should or should not have done. Not in a situation like that, because I'm not in it. And as I've said a few times before, I'm not a fan of looking like a dumbass idiot. Betty's very familiar with that. And a lot of that happens when you opine on things that you have yes, I'm a parent, which gives me more standing than this one, because she can't even parent a puppy. I raised a very happy, healthy, well-adjusted, productive member of society. My son doesn't take from taxpayers. He helps pay for people like her. So at least I have a little more standing. Were I to sit and say, well, I would never do that. Well, you don't know what you would do until you are in that situation. And it's only the, intellectually challenged among us like her who are willing to speak in complete absolutes, most especially when they have no standing to do so. So I know what I think inside my head when I hear things. I know what I say to myself, or if I'm having a discussion with someone, I don't know, not for the entertainment of YouTube. I know what I might think, but I just would never come out and say that, oh, I know this and I know that. It makes you look like the ignorant asshole that you are.
Left for 2 weeks.
I guess thanks for the truth in advertising.
So, this doesn't make sense. And then you wonder, what did they have?
Nothing about you makes sense to
during
me.
that 17 hours? I can say most likely not. Why? Because it sounds like somebody in Sumner County is helping Chris and Katie.
Betty
which is exactly what I did not believe would happen.
Betty.
I never believed.
Listen, I think they make medication for all this type of thing. Look, she is getting so worked up. She's got her hand on her hip. This is indignant Bullhorn Broderick. She is indignant. She knows, and don't try and tell her otherwise. And Betty is the boss. I mean, look at her. This should tell you everything you need to know. This woman is sitting in someone's fucking house somewhere with a picture that looks like, well, either she's crooked or the fucking wall's crooked or the picture's crooked. Take your pick. Maybe all three. I don't know. Let's just say if the person who built the house, if their work ethic and their knowledge base is like Betty's, well, then it's entirely possible that the wall is crooked. My guess is her. So here she is sitting in some house. She is so worked up about this that she's putting her hand on her hip because when you go to church, they read a scripture or something, and then I don't know about other churches, but in the Catholic Church, they'll say something like, and this is the word of the Lord. And this is the word of the bullscorn. I mean, she's fucking whacked. And that is, I am speaking in absolutes in that case. In my opinion, she's a fucking wacko.
Either a law enforcement agent would stick their neck out this long for two individuals that have not been cleared.
Oh, Betty, you shouldn't
and were
do
the
that
last,
with those
Katie was the
arms.
absolute last person to see
Doesn't look
Sebastian
good.
in the flesh and alive. I'm very, very concerned about this case at this point. I'm not really concerned once it gets into the courtrooms because according to my attorney, he absolutely believes the judges are fair and follow the law.
Bitch, you don't have an attorney. I don't think she has an attorney, but I know that there are many people who will be anxiously checking the docket to find out. They'll be looking for that notice of appearance, Bets. Thank you, Crazy Nurse, for the time check. I don't know why, but my it doesn't show the counter that usually shows me how long I've been droning on. It's not there. So I had no idea that. Okay, we're going on 3 hours, so we'll give it a few more minutes, and then I'm at my Betty. I'm at my Betty threshold.
So it's before that we're having problems with. It's before that.
Nobody cares
Seth
what
isn't
you're
there
having
either.
problems with.
Nobody is.
All that
So why
matters
are
is what
they-
law
why are they having
enforcement is
communications
having
with Chris
problems
and
with.
Katie and not Seth if none of them are cleared? See what I'm saying? Something isn't smelling right. So that's why it's very important for us.
Oh my
to,
God. I can promise you. I'll say this as I'll speak in this absolute. I can promise you that if Betty had manned up like the dude that she thinks she is, she would have shown up for court, and let's just say things go her way, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, there's no way that they're going to get that protective order, or I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're absolutely getting that protective order. I see a pattern of behavior. Do I think I see a pattern of behavior? Absolutely. And especially if anyone has not, if you're interested and you have not, Crazy Nurse, could you put Granny's watching, put her link in the chat for me, please? For anyone who's interested, if you were not already there this morning, and I know she had a ton of people there, but if you were not already there and you are interested in hearing some of the particulars of Betty's numerous arrests for domestic violence and the like, well, I would encourage you to go listen to Granny's Watching today, where she reads straight from the police reports. Some of Betty's greatest hits, and I do mean that literally and figuratively. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, they're absolutely going to get those restraining orders. Blah, blah, blah. That's no, I'll leave that. I'll leave acting like a sanctimonious fucking know-it-all. I'll leave that to Betty. She's good at that, except she's not good at it. The only thing she's good at is making herself look like the vile bag of shit that she is. But do I think I have seen a pattern of behavior going back many years? Absolutely. Do I sit here and claim to know the particulars of the law regarding TROs and making them more semi-permanent? Hell no, because I don't do shit like that. So no, I don't. Do I hope they get all three of them, every single thing they are asking for? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the ins and outs of service of process. I don't. Do I believe she has a lawyer? No. But I guess that will remain to be seen. But just that's all you really have to keep in mind when it comes to her or anybody else. Anybody that will speak in absolutes, chances are they're not nearly as smart as they think they are.
Start reaching out to somebody outside of Sumner County. It's time for us to start reaching out to the state attorney.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never finished my thought. If she had not been the fucking coward that she is, and she'd have manned up like the fucking big swinging dick that she looks like and thinks she is. I mean, she talks about her balls all the time. Like, Betty, do you tuck them? Where do you put your balls when you on the occasions where you remember to wear your pants? Where do you put your balls? But if she'd been the big swinging dick that she looks like and thinks she is, she'd have gone into court. And if, let's just say that Betty's 100% in the right and they can't prove what they need to prove. Well, you tell me, do you think for one fucking hot second that this one would be talking about corruption and the good old boys network? Fuck no. No. She's scared. She's pressed. It's keeping her up. Self-preservation mode is kicking in because she has no impulse control. Betty cannot control her mouth. She seemingly can't control her actions. And where the problem comes in is, you see, Betty is obviously not ever in her life had enough of a consequence. I mean, you'd think the fact that she's a miserable old skank alone would be enough to, alert her to the fact that, I don't know, maybe it's your really shitty disposition. But she's never really had enough of a consequence in her life to cause her to change her ways. And, the reason that I heard Granny give for why she was reading the documents, and I have to say, she's a better person than me, because she said, I kind of went back and forth with this. There's a part of me that, feels like this may not be something I should be doing. But, she decided that in the interest of the truth, she was going to do it. Because you see, Betty's a sanctimonious bitch. Betty thinks that she's, she likes to call people felons. Well, bitch, you should have been a felon. I don't know why you weren't, but you weren't. But instead of taking that and going, damn. I mean, listen, I've never, ever said anything other than I have not been an angel my whole life. And I've lived a lot of life. So, but, Granny seemed to be really insulted and offended by the fact that Betty, who's probably, truth be told, probably got a more extensive criminal history than many of the people that she, calls felons and junkies. So I don't have it. Hey, it's public record, and I don't have any issue with her reading it. But if you want to hear some of the gory details, we'll go there and listen and make your own determination. Betty is living in a fantasy world, all her own, where she's all these things that she's not. But I promise you, if things had gone her way, she would be singing the praises of everyone in the county. Make no mistake about that. Oh, God, it's 3:30. All right, we're going to give this 10, 15 minutes max.
in voicing our concerns about the investigation, and not only the investigation, but
You don't live
also the
there.
fact
You are
that,
not a
it appears
taxpayer
that
there.
somebody
They
is
don't give a
inside that
fuck what
police
your
department or
concerns
sheriff's
are.
department, assisting them in
You don't
criminal
even pay
activity, in
your
my
own
opinion,
taxes in
because I
Florida.
absolutely believe what
You
they are
think you have
concocting
standing in
is illegal.
Tennessee?
And so I want to make sure that that is on the record. I want to make sure that we get everything back to Sebastian. I'm no longer going to be talking about my legal case.
Ah! Somebody write this down. When did she do this? Betty's note. I guarantee you, she didn't make it until her stream this morning. What this wasn't this was this morning? No, it was last night. I'd be willing to bet that this morning she talked about her legal case. She's so full of shit.
Online.
She
Again,
has
for
to.
those that
It's
would
how
love to
she
help
eats.
finance this, that would be great. And everything is appreciated. We are going to have some real
She doesn't appreciate anything. I can assure you. She expects it.
out of pocket cost with
No
this,
shit.
but we will not allow them to utilize their terror in this way. And I'm going to call it terror.
Honey, not being a broke bitch like you and being able to afford a lawyer they don't have to go online to beg for, that's not a terror campaign, you fucking idiot. That's just they have more than you and you're jealous. Betty, you should let it go, Betty. Just like JLR, who doesn't want you. He probably never did. I'm still not convinced that they were together. Just because he let you fucking blow him in his car, that does not a girlfriend make.
Because that's what they have put their community through. When Chris thinks he is God and he could tell his own neighbor to go home, we've got some big problems.
Excuse me? I don't know what she's talking about, but Chris thinks he's God. Well, says by someone who certainly thinks she is God, and tells his neighbor to go home. Well, if the neighbor was on his property, he has every fucking right to tell him to go home.
We got some big problems. So if you guys would like to assist in any way,
that's obvious.
Do. I've never, ever, I very rarely, I should say. We always have, something going on.
No, she's not. She is not going to say,
yeah.
I never
we
asked.
always seem to have something
money.
going on for everybody else, but this is going to be one thing that we're going to need your assistance with.
What the fuck are you talking about? You need their assistance for the toilet paper you wipe your ass with. What are you talking about? I'm going to need your assistance for this one. She needs your assistance to pay her, never mind. I was going to say her property tax, but we know she didn't do that. What are you talking about? You are entirely at the mercy of and beholden of the good graces of your chat, your subs, your gaggle of Karens. I mean, I don't usually ask. Oh my God.
On Dolly, I believe last night reported SPNR at a new luxury RV campground close to the last one you were at. Well, if that's they're pieces of garbage.
You're a piece of garbage. And if I was going to stay at a campground, which I'm not, but if I was, well, I would find the most luxury campground I could.
They can't stay.
Don't be a hater, Betty. Betty, don't be a hater because they've got not only 2 cars that seemingly run, they've got an RV that they can stay at okay, Betty is the queen of the Roach Motel. So take it, consider the source. When Betty says a luxury, because to me, I'm like, although I don't know, there are some badass, there are definitely some badass RVs. I mean, if I was going to go in an RV, I want the kind that's got granite or quartz countertops in the kitchen. I'm going to want, at least a queen size bed. Kind of like Reba McEntire travels the damn country in. That's a style befitting Crimes and Fashion. Betty, you and me, we're not the same in any respect. I don't stay in hotels. They're not as nice as my house. And if I'm going to stay in an RV park, it needs to be as nice as my garage. That's my final word. I live on some property, so it needs to be as nice as my back 9. That's all I can say there. Hey, voices. Limey, the non-grifting dumpster squirrel. How are you? Snoopy. B. Frank, how are you?
Seems like any boy that's out there in the wilderness would probably return home to get something. But you know what? He would have came home 2 weeks after his disappearance, he would have came home to a dark, empty home. No mom, no stepfather, no dogs, no nothing.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, but I would hope that if that does happen, I would hope that he would be able to feel safe enough to go to one of the neighbors. Have you ever thought about that, asshole? All you fucking clowns going and driving up and down and probably walking up and down their street. Did you ever think of that? That maybe if Sebastian was out there and he was, you know, I don't know how, I'm not like Betty. I don't claim to know everything about this child. I know he's got sensory issues. I know he's autistic. I don't know what degree, but did you ever think that maybe some of the fools from YouTube roaming up and down out there, did you ever think maybe that could also scare him? And that is not to say, I'm not trying to deflect on what she said, because one of the few things I've heard her say that I think that is an argument that has some merit. However, what I'm going to say is I don't have a clue what kind of scrutiny and conditions they were having to deal with whilst Chris has to work. My understanding is he works out of town. If I was Katie, would I want to be there alone? Hell no. Knowing the likes of you are roaming around, filming me, etc. So Betty, you used a word earlier that I know you have no fucking idea how to use properly in a sentence. It's just a buzzword for you. So let me tell you, that's a situation that is nuanced. There are many things to consider when you decide whether you're going to condemn them or condemn her for leaving her home. And everybody's got the right to feel however they want to feel about it. But you have less standing than anybody because you don't have any kids and you don't have a fucking husband either. Or an RV. So suck it.
Care about or even consider this boy ever walking back through that door because their actions are saying so. But again, we don't know.
Or their actions could be saying, we are so at our fucking wits' end and I'm scared to death of all these internet fucking weirdos out here. I mean, but like I said, that is not, I can also see things her way in this instance.
Chris's sister works for the sheriff's department. Do we know that for a fact that she works for Sumner County? Because if so, we need to make sure that we put that in the letters to them.
Fuck you. And you have no idea what capacity she works for Sumner County in. If she's just answering the phone in the property room, does that mean that the whole fucking investigation is tainted? You're a fucking clown. You are a clown because you speak in absolutes and you have no idea what you're speaking about.
The state attorney.
You have no knowledge base with any of it.
Of interest here.
Like many fools do.
TBI needs to take over this.
They speak like you.
We don't need another Gilgo Beach situation, right? Where the actual sheriff was running interference, or the police chief, or the police.
Oh God, I'm
was
so shocked she brings that up. Of course, that's dealing with a serial killer and sex workers. So, oh yeah, just like this case.
Interference with the case,
and she is right. I mean, he was absolutely corrupt, and several of them were. However, I don't know what impact when that finally goes to trial. Rex Heuermann, I don't know how much evidence there going to be that they can prove that it impacted the investigation. I don't know. And that's another case. I know the basics. That's it. That's all.
Talk about irresponsible reporting.
Well, you're not a reporter. So most of what comes out of your mouth is irresponsible, and you're not a reporter.
And would have used a cell phone for a flashlight.
I guess, Betty, if you're a fucking reporter, I'm William Randolph Hearst. Not that you'll know who that is, but or I'm oh God, what's his name? The bazillionaire Murdoch. I'm Rupert Murdoch. If you're a reporter, I'm Rupert Murdoch.
Flashlights, in my opinion. And not only that, but how many times do they tell us that if
especially waving your vape around.
Thank you, Pam. If Sebastian got in trouble, what do you?
Okay, it's been 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes, and I cannot take any more of Betty. So I'm going to stop the screen. Oh, God, she is so disgusting. Well, I hope that was fun for you guys. I always have fun yelling at Betty. It's too bad she never listens. If she was smart, she would. But like I said, she's not. So I hope everybody has a great Friday. I'm going to go walk my dog. Is he still in here? I thought Bob was behind me for a while now. All right, so scam likely. I thought I had plans this weekend, but I don't think I'm going to. I think that my son was going to come over, but he's going to be out of town. He was going to come for dinner tomorrow, but he has to go out of town for work. So I don't know. I might just be hanging around with nothing to do. But I'm really, talking about her. I've been on a lot this week, more than, oh God, wait a minute. Hopefully you guys, I just did something and hopefully I still have you all long enough to say the other monitor saying something. I'm like, what? All right, you guys, I hope everybody has a great Friday night. If I don't see you this weekend, you guys be safe. And I think I have quite a bit going on next week. So I don't know. I may only see you. Let me look at my calendar. For some reason, I think. Oh, I know I have a hair appointment. Oh, Bob's getting his teeth done on Tuesday, and I'm getting my hair done on Thursday. I don't know. I'll see you guys Monday, either Monday or Wednesday. And hopefully I'll have this set up more. I'll get more familiar with it. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Mods, I appreciate you guys. And until we meet again, pussycats, have a good one.